Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Gilded Flask, where adventure is never far. My name is Barry, and I will be your Dungeon Master for today. And I'm joined with three wonderful people. Please introduce yourselves.
Hello, I am Daniel, and I'm playing Corey Flinzica, the Tabaxi Artificer Rogue.
Hi, I'm Morgan, and I play Briar Aurelia, the Tiefling Fighter.
Hello, I'm Jed, and I play Petro, the Furbolg Paladin.
Amazing characters, all in their own right. I love it. We play Dungeons and Dragons every Friday at around 6 p.m. EST on Twitch, but you can also watch our playthroughs on YouTube as well as we upload our episodes to there at the start of the next week. If you'd rather listen to us on the go, you can also do that because we have a podcast on all of your favorite streaming platforms, whether that be Apple Podcast or Spotify or Shoutcast or all of them. You can probably find us there if you look for the Gilded Flask, ready for your listening pleasure. If you look below on Twitch or on YouTube, you can find all of our socials with the various links to all of those platforms. Or check out thegildedflask.com for a complete overview. We also have a couple of amazing people that we'd like to shout out because they are part of a group of talented people that have definitely had an impact on the way that we portray this world, whether it be through music, through some character art, etc. It just looks amazing, and we want to thank all of them. There is a complete list of all of these people in our YouTube description, so go ahead and have a look over there if you want to see all of them. And while you're there, of course, please like and subscribe and all that yada that we always say on YouTube. Yes.
Spread the
And
word.
with that. And that too, yes. And with that, let's head into the ruins.
Drakkenheim. Once the glittering jewel of Westamar, beacon of civilization, academic study, and religious pursuit. But one fateful day, death fell from the heavens, razing the once vibrant city to rubble. Then, sickness, pandemonium, and monstrous mutations that overtook the few who survived. And yet, beneath the decay and calamity, the remains of Drakkenheim revealed a new secret. Whispers of this discovery crept across the lands. Delirium. Survivors, crusaders, and fortune seekers from near and far battled for dominance, ruthlessly vying for power over the ruined city. In the midst of chaos, three heroes stand ready to survive, to rebuild, and perhaps to profit. And the key to their success may lie deep in the dungeons of Drakkenheim.
Oh, I love that intro. The only thing I'm missing right now is popcorn. I love that. The intro has been graphically made by our very own Jed, also known as Petro. Thank you for your efforts for that, because it really turned out so awesome. I love it. So during our intro, I forgot to mention one more thing, which is not part of our usual intro script, but it definitely is something that we want to mention for today. We will be taking a slightly longer break than usual. So if you're with us live on Twitch, you'll notice that we'll be gone for a little longer than usual. But to make up for that, so to speak, we will be doing a short Q&A session in the Discord. So if you haven't joined our Discord already, please feel free to do so. The link is currently in the chat in Twitch. In the YouTube, you can find it in the links below. If you join us over there, we will hop down into the live voice channel. During our break, you can join us over there as well and ask us everything about the Gilded Flask, about the Dungeons of Drakkenheim, and well, as long as it's not spoilers, I will tell everything. Of course.
What's Corey's favorite color? Well, Corey's favorite color.
Joining us live.
Yes.
Obviously, plenty of those.
So that's going to be fun. But for now, we have a game to play. We have a story to tell. And last week we had a week off, but the week before that, you guys did a lot. You were in the village of Emberwood Village. You explored the town a little bit, got to know a couple of people that were either staying over there, be it permanently or temporarily. You got to know each other a little bit better. You got to know a couple of locations within Emberwood Village, and then ultimately you decided to venture into Drakkenheim itself on your very first foray to find some of this elusive and interesting delirium. And find it you did, because after a little search you found a dilapidated and destroyed street with some buildings barely standing and an octarine glow coming from this little hole in the ground. And as you went over to explore this a little further, you were accosted by a couple of husks, beings no longer part of the living, but still shambling around on the streets with some vague intent or purpose. They're all keenly interested to get acquainted with all of you, and thus your very first combat ensued in our playthrough of Drakkenheim. You survived, barely.
I didn't run away. What are you talking about?
No, you did pretty okay, but it was tense. You ran into a couple of creepy varieties, mutated creatures that also popped up. One of them sort of puked its innards over you, and that didn't do too well. But you fought through. You survived. You ran into another adventuring group, and after a little squabble, you decided that the prize was yours for the taking. You took the delirium crystals with you. You went back to Drakkenheim. A haul that is worth quite a bit of gold to the right buyer, but you can also use it for other things, of course. You came back to Emberwood Village, and over there you decided, after a little bit more debate, that it would be time to get some sleep, and you went to the house that was offered to you for now. Nothing more than a leaky roof over your head. But it is a place to stay, and that is where you ended last time. Coincidentally, also leveling up to level 3. Yes, so you guys have made your choices. I just want to make sure, do you already want to tell everybody what you picked, or would you rather keep it a secret for now?
I'm cool sharing it.
Yeah, feel free.
So for my paladin, I chose Oath of the Ancients, which will surprise probably no one that's been watching Petro's play. Oath of the Ancients is really kind of the naturey, druidy version of a paladin. And with it, I have a few really cool things that I can do, including Ensnaring Strike, which is sort of like a spell that keeps people in place, and Speak with Animals, which is always interesting, and we'll probably put Barry on his RP toes a little bit, so that should be pretty interesting.
I like a challenge.
But yes, I'm very excited to play this paladin that is kind of like the naturey, in touch with Mother Earth type of paladin. So.
All right, Briar, what about you?
I went with the gunslinger fighter line for mine. No guns just yet, but I do have her currently adept in marksmanship, so she's eventually going to get her hands on a gun, and it's going to make fighting a little bit more interesting. I'm pretty excited about it.
Awesome. Thus, indeed, also confirming that, yes, guns do exist in the world of Drakkenheim, and we are going to exploit that. It's going to be fun. What about you, Corey?
Well, Corey got himself a second level in Artificer, and by all accounts, the delirium that they have collected has been very useful. He's got a new companion in the guise of Norbit. Yeah, the little homunculus frog who will be traveling along with them. Because of all the talk that Petro has been doing about frogs, gave him a couple of ideas where whenever he's flying around, the homunculus will actually look like a tadpole. And whenever he's landed and doing damage or whatever he's doing, chatting, he's a frog. So I think that's really cool.
I love that.
Another infusion that they talked about a little bit, where Petro's helmet, if he will let him, he's going to infuse that with the Mind Sharpener infusion, allowing him to maintain concentration.
Which is the arrow sticking out, I imagine.
Yeah, exactly. It's just going to deliver a little jolt whenever he loses concentration. Huh? What's that? Oh, crap. Yes. Very excited. Wonderful.
What was I thinking about?
Um,
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And he got one more spell that he can prepare, so he can use that on the regular basis. Also, Barry has helped me to set up something interesting at the shop, so we'll check that out when we get
Yes. Alrighty. So that brings us to the night turning into day at Emberwood Village. You are at your new home, which is in the lower right corner of this map, very close to the Barkin Buzzard, one of the old buildings over there, which has been abandoned either through neglect by the previous owner or because the previous owner just died because he went to Drakkenheim and never came back. Be it as it may, the building still stood, barely, and it's yours now for the taking. It's a place to squat, at least for now. As night turns into day, you probably have a couple of things that you want to do today. So my question, as it is always, is what will be your next move?
How you guys doing this morning? I need sleep.
Oh, fine for the part.
Sorry, I missed that.
I said fine for the most part.
Ah.
It's sleep. First I've had comfortable sleep in a while.
Oh, I slept really well. I mean, I think last night I was looking up at the stars, and I think I saw a shooting star go across the sky. Either that or it was a fly. I'm not really sure which.
Well, we got to be careful about shooting stars nowadays, given what happened over there in the city.
Oh, this one didn't crash into Drakkenheim and destroy it, though. That's the good news.
Hey, maybe it was valuable. We can go look for it at some point. That'd be interesting.
Oh,
Assuming we're close enough to find it.
hey, yesterday when I went to the chapel, they said if we go over there to the chapel, they might have some work for us. They said, bring your friends. Well, maybe that's not exactly what they said, but they said, come over to the chapel. We might have some work for you. And I know that they have, donations and stuff that they could probably pay you guys.
Wait, okay. That's interesting. What are we talking here? Like a lot of money? And
I mean, at least
are
at
they
least some silver. I saw some silver in the donation box.
so I think we can work something out. Yeah. I definitely. You know what? Every church nowadays, okay, I ain't talking about like this, but every church nowadays probably needs a little protection, if you know what I mean. But like I said, I don't mean it like that, but it's fine. We'll be fine.
Oh, I mean, we're protected by the sacred flame, so I'm not too worried about it.
Right. Actually, speaking of protection, and I'll show you a little bit later. But I'm working on a couple things. Yeah. We can go by the chapel. I also want to go by. If you guys, do you want to do it before or after breakfast? Like, I don't know how early you get up and pray and crap.
Oh, I don't really pray, but I do eat breakfast.
You want to go by the Skull and Sword, get ourselves a little breakfast, maybe talk up the town. I mean, we did ourselves a bit of work last night, yesterday, the day before, whatever.
You just hear Petro's belly like rumble.
That's the answer I like to hear. Brian, you up to go over get some breakfast? I'm sure Frida would like to hear about our exploits.
May as well get some food. I could eat.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. We're gonna head over to the Skull and Sword.
All right. So the Skull and Sword looks dreary as ever, as you saw previous. There's basically like a giant skeleton and sword above the door. It's kind of eerie looking, if not for the fact that, I mean, it makes for interesting decoration. As you come in, it is still relatively early, but Frida will indeed already be tending bar. She will look over at your collective group coming in and just nod at you, slightly sleepy.
Before we get there, how's the general vibe of the town? Like, just does it seem like normal?
It's the first thing that springs to mind is Beauty from Beauty and the Beast doing her first intro song as she walks into the quiet Queensmen.
Bonjour.
Little town.
I got my hands on a few pieces of delirium.
It's
that candle is talking. That's incredible.
I don't like it because it burns. Anyway.
So Emerald Village is, as I previously described it when you came into the village for the first time. Emerald Village used to be like nothing more than a hamlet. Really, there was a blacksmith, but that was the big thing of the town. And then there was like a well and like 3 buildings, and that was it. After Drakkenheim's issue 15 years ago with the meteor, people relatively quickly learned that Emerald Village was the last safe haven of any fair means close to Drakkenheim. So because of that, people started to use this as sort of like a staging ground. Staging ground means people. People means money. Money means trade. And because of that, Emerald Village quickly grew into what it is today. With like an actual hotel there. There's a couple of bars. There's a lot more buildings around. So it sprawled into something you would almost say like one of those old-timey mining boom towns. It's quickly constructed. Not a great quality, but it's there. There's quite a few people about. Like Emerald Village houses, I believe, about 100 people. So it's bustling. It's in the early hours, though, so it won't be too crowded on the streets, but you'll see people, and they're just going about their daily life as if Drakkenheim doesn't exist.
If I'm not mistaken, have I been? I don't think I've been inside the Skull and Sword yet, because I think that was just Trunky that went in.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think when
so in
we
that
went
case,
there
that is
to
probably
see
also the first time you see this
Blackjack
giant. Yeah,
I think
but that was just you.
Before I go in, I'm going to cast Disguise Self and morph into my human form.
Cool. So as we discussed, we have a table rule for that. You wanted to do this with a little funny quirk. So let's roll a d20 and see how well your disguise is today.
Ooh, it's a 4.
Almost
Okay.
18.
I'm borderline ready to say, like, in keeping with Disney's videos, like, you look more like the Hunchback.
I'm gonna say,
no.
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and say that his hair color changes and like his complexion changes a little bit, but really he just looks like a furball, kind of just squatting down a little bit shorter than normal.
Yeah, if you put a hood over your head,
Yeah.
and it isn't too brightly lit around you, you might just pass for a freakishly tall human.
Yeah.
One
okay,
ear's
so,
longer
I'm
than the other. Your nose is still Furbolg size.
Yeah. So yeah, I put a hood over my head. Try to like, I just woke up and I haven't eaten yet, so I'm not on my game yet.
You okay there, Steve?
Who's Steve?
Never mind.
I'm Fred.
We're Fred today.
He gives like a very like forced wink, like a.
Right. All right. I don't know. I guess I'll just get some dinner or breakfast or whatever.
Oh, as long as it's food.
Hey, what do you eat? Do you have any kind of like dietary restrictions or whatever?
Oh, you asking me?
Yeah.
Well, right now I feel like I could eat a horse, but I don't eat horse. No, I don't eat. I don't really eat meat. At least I try not to.
Bread in here.
Yeah, the bread, potatoes, vegetables.
Right, you're a tater kind of guy. Got it.
I love potatoes.
Yeah, I'm more of the bacon and they got a little never mind. Let's get in there.
How do we get? Okay, yeah, let's go order food.
Hey there, Frida. How you doing?
Yeah. What about you?
Just returning from a successful foray into the city.
Oh, that's right. You were going to go into Drakkenheim, and you're still in one piece. So how did that go?
Were and did. And he just sort of like straightens his jacket.
Oh, I went too. I'm Fred. What's your name?
What? Is he with you? She says as she looks at you, Courtney.
This here is Fred, and this over here is Briar. And yes, we 3 have made the foray ourselves into the city. Nobody else. And they're actually they're pretty accomplished bodyguards actually. And you can probably do other things too. Fred, he is good at riddles.
Okay.
He said.
Oh, and I'm also very strong. And he like sort of tries to flex.
You notice that Frida's like a lot shorter than you because like who else isn't? And she looks at you, and while she does acknowledge what you do, you notice that there is like no emotion attached to that. She's not impressed. She's also not shocked. She's not scared. She just looks at you like, okay.
Anyway, we'll have 3 breakfast specials. Do you have any taters? Any potatoes?
Well, as a matter of fact, there was a batch of potatoes that came in through cart yesterday.
Oh, could I have the whole thing?
The whole crate?
Well, I mean, if it's, how much did you say you got? A crate? That'll be about right.
I guess. So a portion is a gold.
Oh, okay, great.
A crate would make 15 portions. So that's.
Oh. How big is a portion?
Like this, so she gets like a plate from under the bar, like this size.
Oh, okay, just 5 of those then.
Are they boiled, mashed, and stuck in a stew?
You know, I've heard of that recipe. It's from a far off land. But over here, we just cook
Oh
them.
yeah, we call it taters.
Oh,
Potatoes.
No,
They call
just-
it taters.
Just taters. Just taters.
they call it taters where you come from, right?
Oh,
That's
Well-
precious. All right. Terrible.
it's the start of the session. We're already going off the rails. Sorry about that, folks.
Yeah. No, I love it.
All right. So yeah, he's gonna have
So that's 5.
15. You got 15 gold, buddy.
Oh, I think that's too much. I think I'm just gonna get 5 servings.
All right.
That's you know what? We'll just do 5 for the lot if you like. I'd feel bad. I'll just whip up something.
I'm just gonna have, if you got it, I don't need potatoes. I'll get some bacon, eggs. You got it?
Yeah, I can whip something up for that.
It sounds like a plan.
We should have eggs somewhere. I'll whip something up. You can go ahead and find yourself a seat.
What was her husband's name? The halfling?
Her husband's name is hidden under Petro's token. So let me just quickly move you for a second. His name is Cuff.
Oh, Petro. Cuff. Okay. Yeah, I'll go.
Cuff Goldberg.
I'll go see if Cuff's. Who is there? Anyone else? What's the state of the bar? Hey, nothing ever happened.
We are back.
For all you folks out there in YouTube
happened.
land, nothing happened. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't. Nobody said anything.
Guys, I think I
just
fell
talking about
asleep for a
potatoes.
second. I don't know.
There was all this talk of potatoes, and then suddenly a blue light flashed across my eyes.
And Drakkenheim was no more, and thus completes the circle of the story.
So what was it? Rumblefoot was his name.
Oh, Rumbletoe?
The halfling. Okay, Rumbletoe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Hey, is Rumbletoe around? So
Rumbletoe? Oh, you mean my husband?
Yeah.
That's Cuff.
Cuff,
Cuff is probably in the back. He's talking to what's his face? I don't really like him, but like he sits over there a lot.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. All right.
Oh,
you guys want to get a
do I?
deal? You want to come with me?
Oh, where are we going? I thought we were gonna eat taters.
We are. While they're preparing them, I figure we, go around, spread the word of our heroics and dashing, daring deeds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything on the bar where there would be like olives or anything along those lines of like?
No, this is not that kind of
No?
bar.
Okay.
No, the only thing on the bar is probably mold. That's like it's that kind of bar.
Oh. Petro's stomach rumbles again, and he's like, "Oh, I guess we can go do something in the meantime." Sure.
Yeah, I mean, she Frida's an amazing, she's an amazing cook, but she ain't gonna be like ain't done like that. You gotta give her a little time to work,
Oh, okay.
But anyway, like I said, hey, Fred, reputation's a very important thing around here. You got to keep up appearances. You got to make sure everybody knows that you're capable. Otherwise, they're not going to treat you with a lot of respect.
I can definitely keep up appearances. And he kind of like adjusts his hood.
So as you guys walk to the back to find a table or something, the halfling, the husband of Frida, stands up from where he was sitting and he walks over to the three of you. And he takes a good look at all of you and then focuses on Corey. And he says, "Hey, so I heard that you guys found some delirium."
Well, looks like word travels fast about heroes returning from Drakkenheim. Yeah, we did.
Heroes. Yeah, sure. Hey, so did you sell all of them?
What's it to you?
I'm just curious, like how much your haul was. Like, I know maybe I shouldn't ask. I was just curious.
Nah, don't worry about it. It was a huge haul. Now, obviously, we don't have any on us because we're not chumps. Got some under lock and key. And I've been doing some pretty fancy experiments.
I actually have a few on me, actually.
Really? Can I see one?
Oh, I look over it. I'm kind of like looking around, like, oh, am I supposed to do that?
Obviously, you know, it's a very exclusive kind of thing. So, what's it worth to you?
I just wanted to take a peek. I'm not going to pay for that. I just wanted to see. If you don't, like, I understand.
Hey, you're just gonna have to take our word for it. It was a huge haul.
Oh, okay. Hey, so word does travel very quickly, and we got a bit of a VIP sitting in the back. I believe you talked to him last time as well, but he wants to talk to you guys. Like, he's interested.
Yeah. I spoke with him last time. He took the drinks I was offering, but he wasn't very kind about it. So I have some words about that.
Yeah, just keep my place intact, will you? Like, just no fighting in here.
Understood. No worries. We'll keep it gentle. You know, we're gentlemen after all, right? We got this.
Yeah, perfect. So with that, he walks off to join Frida to probably help out in the kitchen or something. And the other one left right now in the bar is a rather small-looking man clad in fancy-looking black leather armor, flanked by 2 or 3 thugs that are the stereotypical mean-looking, bald-headed, playing with a dagger type of, ne'er-do-wells. In the middle, however, the small gentleman in nice-looking leather, is intently looking at the 3 of you. He isn't saying anything. He's just looking at you. It feels inviting, but in the eek kind of way.
Corey pulls out like a multi-tool with a little knife. And he's like starts picking his teeth and showing, yeah, I got knives too. Walk back there.
I'm just gonna go ahead and can I roll an insight check on these people for Petro?
Sure.
I'm curious what Petro thinks of them, to be honest.
I like that. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, it is a 12.
You got a -1 on insight. That is so Petro.
I do have a -1.
With a 12, I'll basically say you regard them as they are. They are not evil looking. They're also not friendly looking. They look like the type of people that you should be a little bit on your guard around. Like, you don't feel an immediate threat, but you do notice this discomfort of like, like who's sitting out in a bar playing with a dagger? Like, that's cool.
Hey, I think we should maybe be a little careful with those guys. They have lots of knives.
Hey, don't worry about it, Petro. Remember, like I said, it's all about appearances. Got to keep up your appearance. Like, smacks him on the chest. You got to keep up your appearance around here. Make sure these types don't disrespect you.
Oh, I don't think I'm ever disrespected.
Of course not. Of course not. No one's ever said anything about you. There wasn't totally a compliment or something.
That's true, actually.
I'm gonna look over at Briar, like.
She's just gonna raise a brow at him and just like.
Alrighty. Well, like I said, keep up appearances. You're a big tough guy, right? Frank.
Yeah, Fred.
Right.
Very big
Definitely.
and tough. Yeah, big
There you
guy.
go. Nobody gonna mess with you.
Nobody mess with me.
No. All right. He's just sort of straighten his jacket and maybe put a few things back where they were and like let's go back and make our appearances.
All right. As you get closer to his table, he spreads his arms wide after like doing one of those claps, like a very inviting sort of gesture, looking at the three of you, and he says, "No, today I got all the time for you. It's word around town going that you did something interesting. You found some delirium."
Well, I mean, I'm not one to brag, but yeah, we made our way in there. We had a pretty big fight too. We took out a lot of nasties and got ourselves a huge haul.
So you actually know how to use those weapons.
Of course. What do you think? Look at this guy over here. Look at her. You think this guy's bad? I mean, look at her. She's like bristling with weapons. She got everything.
So, Briar, you have seen Blackjack Mel before. You probably haven't interacted with him, but you've seen him before. Like, you know, you've been around Emberwood Village. He frequents this place. You guys know each other by faith, but you've never talked. So I don't know what his vibe does with you, but you probably share a moment of like, yeah, I know you.
Yeah, kind of just I acknowledge him, but I'm also not too big of a fan of him in general. Just more on like the neutral terms, but she also doesn't quite trust him in general.
Yeah, I've seen her before. She's basically one of us, right? I mean, you know, you do a lot of things for money, don't you?
I don't know about one of you guys. I'll let her actually Briar answer that.
I do something for money, but it depends on my moral compass.
Yeah.
Why? You're around people that have a moral compass over here. We do the right thing for the right people for the right price. That's what you do.
Depends, really.
I mean, there is a bit of
Well,
a
how
quality
about-
discrepancy there. I mean, she's got a leg up there, if I would say so myself.
Or maybe. But be that as it may, you've been into Drakkenheim, you haven't died. And you've brought back something valuable. So that means that you're a cut above the rest. Well, 80% of them, anyways. And that means that I might have some work for you, if you're interested.
Well, our rates are pretty steep. I don't know if you guys can afford it, but you know, we could talk, we could banter, we're getting breakfast, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, we can talk. Sit down. Let's have a talk. Do another round of like what do you guys drink?
What's their most expensive drink?
You're at the Skull and Sword, so the most expensive is just beer.
All right.
I'll have an herbal tea. Thank you.
Herbal tea. Like, you see him like sizing you up, like you're big guy. He would have thought that you would get like a keg of beer, and you get an herbal tea.
Oh, I mean, if they have a lot of it, then I'll take a keg of herbal tea. Sure.
Sure. Herbal tea.
Like I said,
It's still morning.
man's got to stay strong. And I will have a beer.
Sure.
I'll take a beer.
What about you? And a beer. All right. Round of beers and like a tea with like greenies in it.
Honey, if you have it, maybe just like a teeny bit of oat milk.
I think everyone in the bar, including your party members, stare at you for that.
Oh, just tea is fine. Thanks.
I'd like a grande mocha, 2 pumps vanilla, 3.
Exactly.
That's exactly what went through my mind, looking at something Starbucksy.
It needs to be half whip in between each pour.
Yeah.
It has to be the top grade
Hey,
of the first pile of coffee beans.
a man
If
of
you know how
culture.
to make the little art that they put on top, that'd be really nice. Just like a leaf. That'd be cool.
All right. So, first things first, how did you like Drakkenheim?
I've been here for a while. You know my feelings. Petro, what do you think?
Oh, I didn't like it at all. I went up to those guys that didn't have faces and I asked them questions and they were just attacked us. They were really mean to us, to be honest. I mean, turns out they were kind of evil, so we had to kill them. But I didn't like it.
But you did kill him, right?
I mean, I think so.
Oh,
They
yeah.
were evil, so
This guy right here, he took on one of this huge, big, very rotund fellow who may have expelled some delirium projectiles at us. Very
Oh, yeah.
disgusting, very nasty. But he took him out.
yeah,
Really.
he sneezed on me really hard.
And she over there, she was slicing and dicing. You ain't never seen any kind of like bodyguard action like this. That's what I'm talking about. Like I said,
like that.
Yep, high rates.
I like that. We need people like that. See, as you might know or not, I'm affiliated with some very powerful people in the city. And we always look for the best talent out there to either bolster our ranks if you're interested, and if not, for the occasional job that would lie beyond our immediate stretch. Pay is good. There's a lot of adventure in it for you. And, well, if you do well, you might even be able to secure an invitation to meet with some more of the prominent people in my organization.
Really? I mean, it's been a long time coming, to be honest. Like, I've been here for a while, and I ain't never got a proper invitation. I feel a little insulted, to be honest.
You're running that rundown gift shop, right?
Gift shop. Let me tell you something, buddy.
Briar's just gonna kind of just press her hand against Corey's chest and just.
You sell gifts there? I didn't know that.
I mean, you can give, sure, if you want to give somebody a cure-all that cures every imaginable disease, and as a gift, you certainly can. If you want to improve your life by an immeasurable quantity, you certainly can give that as a gift. You can do all kinds of gift shop.
Those sound like really good gifts.
They're fantastic gifts. Gift shop.
Mr. What's your organization? You said that you have an organization that you work for.
Yes. You're from out of town, aren't you?
Oh, I'm from Lumen. Well, originally kind of from here, but that was a long time ago. And then a meteor hit it and I left. Now I'm back. I'm here to help. I work with the Sacred Flame. Anyway, what's your organization?
The second you mentioned the Sacred Flame, hang on.
Oh no!
The second you mentioned like the Sacred Flame, you see him like looking at you like more intently, and he's like, "What did you do for them yet? Like, what have they sent you on anything yet for the like? Have they sent you to the city? Like,
Oh,
what did they?
I mean, they sent me here. Well, no, actually, I'm gonna go over there after this, and they might send me into the city. I think I'm gonna. They offered to give us some work, so we're gonna go over there after this.
Right.
Did he ever actually introduce himself and give his name?
No.
I'm Frank, by the way.
See that? That's what I'm talking about. Have you ever heard of a paladin bodyguard? Like, that's some high class stuff right there. This guy can do all kinds of crazy things. I seen him smell the air, and like he said, if there was something bad around here, he could have smelled it.
Oh, that's true. I can do that.
Oh, well, that's very handy for what we have for you. My name is Mel. Everyone calls me Blackjack Mel, which is a sensible thing, as that's my name. So, I have an interesting job for you. It requires you to go back into Drakkenheim. It requires you to retrieve something for us, and I require a certain discretion to other people as well. See, our organization employs a lot of people, but the most important trait that we all have is that we all understand is that we're working for the greater good, and that we keep our mouths shut to other people.
Oh,
you see,
I definitely agree with the first part of that.
Well, good. You see, Drakkenheim is has been left without a ruler for a very long time, but would it surprise you to know that the queen still lives?
What?
Wait, like the Queen of
Which
Drakkenheim?
queen?
Yes, the Queen
Oh.
of Drakkenheim.
That was like 15 years ago, Nate. I ain't heard of her being seen around here. As far as I know, the entire royal bloodline, I ain't seen any of them.
I didn't say anything about a royal bloodline.
Said the
There is a
queen.
Wait,
Yes.
what's her name?
Let's just go with the queen for now.
Oh, well, okay.
Is she like is she sitting right here? Hello, queen. How you doing? Is she
Yeah.
imaginary friend or something?
Is she invisible?
Don't think we want to piss off
Sure.
this group, guys.
Oh, okay. You have great hair.
No. It's appearances. Briar, appearances.
Blackjack Mel, have I told you that you have a great haircut?
You just did.
Oh, okay. Well, I just want you to know that because apparently we are not supposed to make you angry.
You're a fast earner. I like that.
Oh, thanks.
He
I
grins over at
appreciate
Brian.
that.
Listen, our organization is called the Queensmen because we are all in service to the Queen of Drakkenheim, the only rightful ruler of Drakkenheim and its surroundings. You'll see. If you do well, I can actually bring you to her. I can arrange a meeting. You can speak to her yourself if you'd like to.
Oh, I mean, I personally, I would like that. Just to even meet her would be such an honor.
Ah,
Yes.
We
Yes,
will
definitely an honor.
consider this.
Chief arcane mechanic of the Queen of Royalty, Drakkenheim.
Was she? Can I ask you a question, man with nice hair? Was she the queen before the meteor fell, or is she like a new queen?
She is more of a new queen, more capable of handling the current situation.
Does she have access to the royal treasury?
That is something I don't think I'm obliged to share with you at this point, but do know that we have the means, the capabilities, and the wish to make sure that Drakkenheim, as it always should have, belongs to the people.
Yeah.
No more royal family that sits in their ivory tower looking down on everyone and squabbling away all the money that they get through their taxes, but no. Instead, a fair society for everyone, ruled by a queen, but given to each and every one of us that works.
Yeah, sure, whatever. All that stuff about people and stuff. Can she pay?
So, what I'm about to share with you would pay, if you do it successfully, the sum of, well, it's 3 of you. Let's just make it an even 750 gold. And we'll throw in something else if you do a good job.
Corey does his best to hide excitement, but his fur like stands on end.
Wow,
Just poof.
750 gold each. That's like 1,000 gold total.
No. Listen. Not each. You're doing it with the 3 of you because there is no way that you can do this by yourself.
I am so
You're
proud
doing
of
it
you,
with the
Pet.
3 of you.
I'm
Oh,
so
but
proud of
then
you,
I only
Frank.
get. Yeah, I'm gonna let Corey handle the math. I'm not very good at this.
I am so proud of you. That was a good effort. I appreciate that. Yeah, we get it. 250 a piece. Sure, whatever.
Yes. And we'll throw in something extra if you do a good job. That is what I'm giving you. You can take it or leave it. But if you're okay with it, I can tell you what you need to do. Now, I need to warn you that what I'm about to share with you, if you want to take on this job, does not leave these 4 walls. If it does, you're in big trouble. Okay?
Petro just like scans the room and checks to make sure 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay,
walls?
got it.
I love you.
He's an amazing bodyguard. He's very strong. He does a lot of amazing things.
Talk about breaking the 4th wall there.
Oh, nice. That's good. That's good.
She's really good at knives. She's a really good assassin. She's great at she's a great bodyguard. Let's.
Okay. Even Blackjack Mel gets like a grin on his face.
Does that door count? Because that kind of makes it like 2 walls. Would that be 5 walls or?
Don't worry,
Mel.
Don't worry, Mel. We ain't gonna blab.
So, have you ever heard of the Cathedral of Saint Vitruvio?
He looks over at Petro.
Have I heard of that?
It is the cathedral in the center of the city. Yes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the cathedral in the center of the city.
Yes. Ding ding. Indeed. The grand bastion of the sacred flame in the center of Drakkenheim.
Oh, can you imagine going there? That would be such an honor.
I would usher a bit of caution to go there. Drakkenheim is dangerous. Also over there. I've never been there myself in the last, 15 years. But it's not about this cathedral. It's about who it's dedicated to. Saint Vitruvio apparently is very important to everyone who is following the sacred flame. Important enough, actually, to dedicate the cathedral to it. So this is an important and powerful person. Now, we recently learned that there is a smaller chapel right outside the city gates. This chapel actually holds a relic that is attributed to Saint Vitruvio. This chapel, called the Chapel of Saint Brenna, supposedly should have some catacombs, and in those catacombs there should be a scepter that once belonged to this great Saint Vitruvio. Now, I don't care about any of the religious yada yada. We want to have that scepter. You can imagine that that is an exceptionally valuable scepter to the right buyer. Now, listen very carefully. A scepter like that is worth an exquisite amount of money. But if you ain't got the right connections, you will never be able to move that on your own. So you'll get your cut. If you bring that to us, you'll get your cut. You got our promise. But I want to make sure that you understand this very well. If we catch wind of you trying to double deal us, or you try to sell it yourself or something like that, it's going to be bad news for you. You get it? Bring it back. You get your money. End of the deal. Okay?
I don't know, Mel. I gotta say, that staff sounds like it's worth an exquisite amount of money. And
yeah,
this guy's got connections in the church, and I imagine that they would pay to have their staff back, right?
maybe.
So,
I mean, Blackjack, you seem like a trustworthy fellow. Am I right about that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then I hope you can trust me too. And I dispel this guy's self and transform back into my Verwoke self. And then
Holy old gods.
I sit down cross-legged next to the table. I think that Corey's kind of right. I think that belongs to the church. But I understand that you need to stay in business. So from you, well, I guess what I want to hear is, you said that you don't want there to be a royal family anymore, and that you want the you want the Drakkenheim to belong to the people. And I just want, do you really believe in your heart of hearts that Drakkenheim should belong to the people? And is that really what you're fighting for?
Oh yeah, and see, I also agree that this scepter should probably go back to the church. We don't really have a use for it other than just like getting money off of it. But our cause, getting the city back to its people, that needs money. And the only way to get money is to get the money from the people that have it. And, well, if you work for the Sacred Flame, you should probably know that they're very wealthy. So if we get this scepter and we can sell it to them, we'll get a lot of money from them that we can give to the people to make sure that they have a better chance at living in Drakkenheim. So you're doing a good thing.
Petro's kind of scratching his head, and he's like, but does the church already own it? Or who owns it right now?
No, they've forgotten about it. It's in the
Oh.
ruins. They've forgotten that it even exists.
So you're saying you'd be doing them a favor?
Yes, but one that includes money. It's not really a favor.
Oh.
You know, Blackjack Mel. Go ahead, bro.
The significance of this specific relic. What ties does it have? Is it connected to the royal family?
I'm not really sure, but I believe it isn't. I believe it is just a relic of the once great Saint Vitruvio. And, well, I would say if it was important enough, they would have kept it in the cathedral. Instead, they left it in the crypts of an old chapel on the outskirts of the city. Be that as it may, the thing itself apparently looks very, very pretty and is thus very valuable.
Yeah. I'm sorry to say this, Mel, and I really appreciate you. Thanks for the round of beers and stuff. And yeah, your organization sounds really important and Queen and all that stuff. I'm hearing a lot of I'm a middleman talk coming from you. Like I got a direct tie to the source over here. Like,
Mel, I understand that you need to run a business, and because of that, I promise that I won't repeat what you said to the Chapel of the Sacred Flame. You have my word on that. But I do need to give this a little bit more thought, because since I got here, people have been saying all sorts of things, and some of them are completely opposite to each other. It's all very confusing, and frankly, I just kind of need to think about it. So I'm just gonna go ahead, and for now, I'm gonna just think about it. But you have my word that I won't tell anything to the Chapel of the Sacred Flame or anybody at the church or any knights or paladins, clerics or Highlanders or any of the, oh, I don't think that last one's a real thing. Any of those people, any of my friends, because I know that you are just trying to make a living.
yeah, and to be clear, what I'm saying here, I'm not saying that, you know, obviously discretion is important, and yeah, sure, we gave you a word. But I'm just saying that if we were to get, say, a retainer up front, that would ensure that, you know, we'll be a little bit more capable of following through with this.
I think for now, before we decide to take a payment in advance, let's consider this for a moment.
I'm trying to get us some gold here, Brian. Okay, yeah, sure. Hey, Mel, mum's the word, obviously. But we got to make sure that this is within our availability. We don't got a lot of bandwidth being heroes and all.
And I guess 750 gold isn't going to help you on that path to glory, right?
Like I said, you know, rates of steep. You know, that is a lot of. That's a lot of gold. Sure, yes, but this other interested party. I mean, we've been talking to these the Hooded Lanterns. They actually have something that they need for us to look into, and that seems like it will be really good for the city as well. So, you know,
Mister,
well,
we appreciate your 700 gold, but
50.
as
and
long
50.
as the Sacred Flame is burning, we are being successful, and everything else is extra.
Sure.
we
Now-
still want the 750. He may not want it, sure, but we still want it.
Just for now, let's speak among each other with this. We'll get back to you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Think about it. Just know what I said. I started, before I shared this information with you, that what I said does not leave this room. If I catch wind that you are
Boss.
still taking this scepter to someone else, there's going to be trouble.
If we go get the scepter, you're the first one to yeah, sure, you get first, whatever.
Great. I'll keep you to that. Think about it then.
Where's that food? How's that food coming, Frida? This is getting awkward.
As if carefully planned, the food is just arriving.
All right. Well, we're
Well,
gonna
here's something we can all agree on: food.
we're gonna go deliberate amongst ourselves as you do with a organization such as ours over there.
Sure.
In the front booth.
I need to run some errands anyways. I'll probably be in Emberwood Village for another day. After that, I'll be going into the city, but I'll be sure to find a way to you.
All right. So if we do end up, taking this job, obviously we're gonna find you to confirm and whatnot. But how we gonna find you after we collect?
Oh, for now, just connect with Cuff over here, and he'll make sure that we'll get connected. After that, we'll get a more direct means of communication. But for now, especially seeing as how you are a bit ambivalent on the assignment, I hope that you understand that I'm being a bit careful.
I understand. You got to keep your businesses close to the chest. I can respect that.
Yeah. All right. Oh. Well, consider it. Try not to die. And if you do want to go ahead and pick this up, I'll leave some instructions with Cuff on where to find the chapel. Okay?
Sure thing.
Lane be with you, my halfling friend.
He looks at you like, what? I'm a human. And he walks off.
And as Frida brings the food, I'm just like, I know that earlier I looked like a human man, but I'm a furbolg, and I'm the same person who ordered this. Just so you know that, just so there's no confusion.
Uh-huh. So she brings over 2 plates, one for Corey and one for Briar. Then she walks back to the kitchen, and she comes back with like a tray for you. And as you say this to her, she's like, that's great. I haven't seen a furbolg for a little while. Did you happen to come from the Enclave that used to be here?
Oh, you mean the cloister, the Green Grove? Yeah. It's just on the other side of Drakkenheim. It's not really there anymore, though.
No. I've heard of it, but long time ago. I'm sorry. Did you ever find any other next of kin?
Well, we don't really think of it that way, but I never really found any other furbolgs. I think they're all gone. But the good news is that the Sacred Flame sort of adopted me, and they raised me, and they put me through school, and it's that's my family now.
So enjoy your food, and she walks off.
Oh, she's really nice.
So Petro, wait, you told me you were from around here. Yeah, sure, but like there was a whole group of you? Like,
oh yeah, we had a little village on the other side of Drakkenheim in the forest. Yeah, it's just outside of the city, really. But yeah, after the big rock from the sky, we all kind of dispersed, and I don't know where my community is or where my family is. I think I might be the only one left. But like I said, it's okay because I have a new family and they're great.
If you ever want help finding them, or you ever need any help like that, my friends and family discount is very significant.
Well, I mean, I did have some friends in Drakkenheim, and well, to be honest with you, I hadn't really shared this before, but that's part of the reason that I want to go into Drakkenheim too. I think there might be some people that I know still, and I think something important was left for me, and I want to go find out what it is.
If it's in the city, it's probably not a pretty sight anymore, to be honest.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right.
Hey, can I see that helmet of yours? I just wanna, I want to show you something.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's been working really good. The arrow, I kind of just left it in. It's sort of like a memory of the guy that owned it before me. And so I don't want to take it out. So I'm just gonna leave it in. But yeah, here you go.
That's a good thing. And he takes it and he pulls out one of the delirium crystals, but it has a couple of metal pieces on it now, little fixtures. And he just he makes a small notch in the top of the arrow, and he sort of screws it in for a second, and you just see it flare, and then he unscrews it. He says, "Hang on, let me test it." It's way bigger than his head. Ah. Yep, that does it. Oh, that does it. And he takes it up and he says, "There you go, my friend."
That doesn't fit you very good, does it?
No, but that is a genuine Flensica experimental, but it is a genuine article, and that, my friend, should come of some help to you in the future.
Oh, what's it do now? What'd you do to it?
Consider it a bonus for helping me out yesterday, you know, and also the fact that guy who took your helmet, he kind of was a jerk to you, but I mean, you got his in the end. So the way it's gonna work is it now has a bit of a detection in there, and I'm pretty sure it works with your type of that holy divinity crap that you guys do.
Yeah.
What it's gonna do, it has a sensor in there. I've been tinkering with this for a while because sometimes your mind wanders, it get a little ADHD going around. You look, hey, look, a bird.
Not my mind. I have great focus.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you do. But
hey, look, a bird.
And when you're
is that a blue jay? What is that?
No, I'm pretty sure
kind
that
of
was
like a beak with a little bit of yellow. Sorry, what were you saying?
That's a piece of paper, Petro.
Oh, you're right. It is a piece of paper.
Yeah. So
I get those two mixed up a lot.
Basically, gist of it is, if you're concentrating on one of your spell thingies that you guys do, it should snap your attention back to it. It's a mind sharpener for mechanical people.
Wow, that I mean, I feel like my mind's pretty sharp already, but thank you so much. This will definitely help.
And
also, if you could send me the link to what that actually does, because
yeah. So I'll tell you, but like I guess we should create a item for it. Basically, it regains 1d4 charges per day, and it holds 4 charges. Using a charge, you can automatically succeed a concentration check that you have failed.
Ooh.
So if you fail a concentration check, you can automatically succeed, and it works up to 4 times per day based on how many charges it has.
Very cool.
Yeah. Just one of the many benefits of delirium that a mind such as myself can bring forth into the world.
Wow. Well, I'm so glad that I have you around, not just to show me Drakkenheim, but also just to make little glowy things on my helmet. Thank you.
You're welcome. Normally that would be like a 300 gold feature, but like I said, bonus for helping me out yesterday.
Oh wow, that's a lot for a little glowy rock thing.
You'll see. He'll do some good things. So Brian, right now we got the Hooded Lanterns giving us a job, and to be honest, it does sound pretty urgent. I mean, they basically sent someone off into this place, and it sounds like it's a little bit dangerous for normal people. Like normal people, unlike you and I, they can't really handle this kind of place, you know. And we also got our friends over there who have probably left at this point with their business opportunity. So
we should be a little bit mindful of who we're doing dealings with, though.
True.
Oh,
just out of personal preference.
I want to at least go talk to the church, see what their ideas were.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, we still got a couple, but we got to go over to the hotel. I want to see what River's face looks like when she sees that we've been in the city.
Who's River?
The lady with the horns at the hotel. Remember?
Oh yeah, the one that looks a little bit like Briar. That's right.
How
I don't
do we
see
look
it.
alike again?
I don't see it.
Oh, you're just both very pretty.
Aw.
Wait, and you think River? I love it. All right. Anyway, how many? Where'd your potatoes go?
Oh, I mean, I got through 4 plates already. I got 1 plate left. Do you want to split it?
No, I'm good.
I mean, I think I
you
might
see
need
Petro just like breaking the plate on his knee and just giving you half a plate, literally.
Yes.
I love that, actually. Yeah, that's exactly what I did.
I imagine that they're
You wanna
actually
split
wooden
it?
plates. They're actually wooden plates, and it's just like he just and it just grows into 2 separate plates.
Could I actually? I think I could eat probably about 7 more of these.
You know what? I ain't gonna argue with the results. Big appetite, big guy. Sure.
Oh yeah, that's kind of how I think about it too.
All right, you guys want to head out to go say hi to our friend over there? Oh, the chapel's on the way, right? We can pay them a visit, like you said. I guess.
Yeah,
tell 'em
I
about
think
the
we should go to the
scepter.
chapel. I also want to metagame for a little, or not metagame, but I want to break out a card briefly. The Twitch chat voted that I could eat 12 plates of taters, and
Oh,
while I
God.
appreciate that, I do think it might be a little more than he would actually order. So we're gonna stick with 5 for now.
I love it.
But yes, let's head to the.
I didn't even make that connection when you said it, but I love it.
I also have some business in the hotel as well. I heard of dwarves possibly staying nearby.
Hey, who's staying nearby?
Dwarves.
Oh, right.
Really?
Okay,
The little
yeah.
tiny people? Yeah.
mean-
Somewhat tiny people.
I think they're bigger
Oh.
than Ruff over here, or Cuff. I'm gonna forget his name every time.
They have some items I'm intrigued about to see how much they sell them for.
Well, that was a delicious. Hey, Frida, absolutely amazing. Bacon, fantastic. That was a lot of potatoes. You cooked those up pretty quick. You and Cuff, you run a tight ship.
We do our best, you know. Is he still walking after all of that?
I think
Yes.
I think he could eat more.
He's got his cheeks full and he just gives 2 big thumbs up, like. Mhm.
Okay. Well, best of luck to you then. Hope to see you guys again soon, I guess.
Oh yeah, we'll see you
Oh,
soon.
you will. I'm gonna come back and get more potatoes.
If we have any.
Save a couple
Yeah,
batches for us, I
we
guess.
haven't.
All right, so to the chapel.
Oh.
Thus started the Amberwood potato shortage.
Amberwood potato famine. Oh God.
It's the potato depression.
God. All right. The chapel is there's a little bit more activity on the streets after your breakfast. The chapel itself is one of those chapels that is basically open at all times. So as you walk towards it, you already see like the flickering light of the flame that is perpetually held burning in the chapel. As you enter, you'll see that Flamekeeper Hana is still there, as well as Ophelia Reed, the High Flamekeeper of the Silver Order that you have briefly met last time, Petro.
Yes. And can you remind me which one it was that actually mentioned to me that I should come back the next day?
That will be Ophelia.
Okay. In that case, I would beckon in my friends to come into the chapel and go over to Ophelia.
All right.
I've
As you
very
approach her, she will already see you coming.
very discreetly put away all,
makes
like
sense.
make sure that before we even get there, all of the delirium that I've had is very, very tucked away. Like not.
Fair.
And he sort of nudges Briar. He's like,
She just, I saw nothing. I see nothing.
well, you too.
All right. As you approach her, she is already like invitingly smiling at you. She invited you, and she was waiting for you. Apparently.
Oh. I don't have any potatoes left over. I'm sorry, but I hope that you already ate breakfast. I remember yesterday you said I should come and maybe you'd have something for me to do. So here we are. I also brought some friends with me.
Now your bashfulness gives me a big smile on my face. I do like that. Flame be with you, child. Who are your friends?
Let me be with you too. This is Corey. He actually lives here in town. He owns a shop just down the street. And then this is Briar. I met her on the road on my way in.
Well, I am sure that friends of Petro are friends of mine.
Oh, they're good friends.
Yeah, Flame be with you. Sure.
She gives you like a courtesy. She gives you a courtesy smile, and it isn't that she is dismissive of you, like not at all. She is friendly towards you, but you do notice that she knows you're not a religious type. She can tell.
Whatever we can do to serve the people of Drakkenheim and of course the chapel of, he looks at the sign, Saint Ardenna.
Very well remembered. Now, Petro, I asked you in here today because, well, you've been to Drakkenheim yesterday, and you've survived, and I'm very happy about that. Which means that you can hold your own together with your friends, and that is something that the Silver Order might wish to hire for a little, let's say, a delicate task into the ruins.
Corey's listening very intently.
I mean, I'm really quite delicate as a person, so I think should be able to handle it.
As you say, I'm a very delicate person. She just looks you up and down, and being a normal-sized human, like, it takes her a second to like adjust her neck to do so. And she's like, right. Now, there is a certain item that the Silver Order would like to return to the hands of the Sacred Flame, and you might be the ones to do it. We have learned recently through some scoundrels that we have detained that apparently there is still a chapel on the outskirts of town that holds something that is very dear to us and that we would like returned to us.
Oh, I think I've
This
heard of
chapel.
the chapel on the outside of
Hey,
town.
don't
Have
interrupt
you?
the lady. Don't interrupt. Hey, we
Oh.
remember, we didn't say nothing. If they say it, we ain't in trouble.
Oh.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, it seems that these, well, let's just call them undesirables, have learned of something very valuable in this chapel. The chapel is called the Chapel of Saint Brenna, dedicated to one of the first flame keepers and very high regarded person. Now, this chapel also holds a scepter. It's called the Scepter of Saint Vitruvio. Now, I needn't remind you, Petro, of how important Saint Vitruvio is. And she looks very intently at you.
Definitely not. I have heard it's in the. Yep.
Give me a deception check.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
The mind sharpener
I think
tries to trigger, but it doesn't work.
That's warranted in this. Oh boy. Oh, I thought it was a 1 for a second. Okay, this is not a 1. It is a 9. Yeah.
Well, you're still at the start of your training. I do understand. Saint Vitruvio is the most important person that was ever alive in these parts. Saint Vitruvio is very dear to all of us. And Saint Vitruvio commanded a couple of very important things. One of those things was the scepter. It was their weapon. It was a sign of virtue and the sign of the light. And because of that, it is very dear to us. And it was lost when Drakkenheim was torn asunder. At least that is what we thought. Well, logically, this scepter should have been stored underneath the Cathedral of Saint Vitruvio. But as fate would have it, apparently it was moved for a ceremony to another chapel. And there it still resides to this day, it seems. For in the catacombs beneath the Chapel of Saint Brenna, the scepter of Saint Vitruvio still lies, waiting for someone to reclaim it. Now, the Silver Order would like to see this religious symbol of hope and light return to our ranks. And it is because of that that I must implore you that this is a very important task that we would like to see you help us out with. You see, we cannot allow this scepter to fall into the hands of thieves or cultists, other undesirables that are trying to look for this to just pawn it off to the right buyer. This is not something that is for sale. This is a holy item, and it should return to those that know how to wield it and know how to take care of it. If you help us retrieve it, I would like you to meet me at Camp Dawn, which is where all of the paladins of the Silver Order are currently stationed. And we will see you justly rewarded for all of your efforts.
How
Wow.
justly we talking?
Sir, what might I inquire as to what your name is?
Oh yeah, Corey Flinziger, aka Flints. I run the Import Export Emporium over on the side of town. I don't like to brag, but very successful and capable warrior. Well, adventurer who went into the city not too long ago. These two, absolutely, astounding trip. Nothing went wrong at all. Definitely didn't get.
He's actually a staple of the local community. Very important to Emberwood Village.
At the very clear statement of warrior, Briar's just gonna kind of look down at Corey with her brow raised, and then just kind of roll her eyes for a second. Just oh god.
And that's where he changed it to adventurer. Sure, yeah, whatever. Experimenter and artifactor.
So Ophelia looks at you as you say all this, and you see her brows just shift ever so slightly when you say that you don't wish to brag. She lets you finish, and then when you do, she gives you a half-cocked smile and says, "Well, then obviously I need not remind a hero of your stature that one that is able to produce the brightest flame need not boast about the power of his kindle." Right. So I am sure that you are a capable warrior in enough of yourself.
That's why I said I don't like to brag.
Right. Now, I understand that you are a man that is more inclined to the business side of life, and I understand that you wish to know if we are able to justly reward you for your efforts. I will tell you that the Silver Order has ample coffers brought with them that they can use to pay adventurers such as yourself. I'm sure that we can offer you upwards of a couple of 100 gold for your efforts. And we also have a couple of items that might suit your needs when you dive further into the city that you will not be able to find anywhere else. Of course, also our services will be available to you. So should you ever run into something that is very dangerous, you always have a safe haven where you know that you can recuperate and recover from even the gravest things that will happen to you in the city.
If Petro wanted to say anything, I don't want to.
Oh, they've always taken good care of me.
Yes, we have.
Well, I want to establish something first. Just want to make sure that everyone is on the same page with this. We didn't tell you nothing about this whole staff thing, right? You said everything to us. We didn't say nothing to you initially, right?
You make me believe that you already knew of this stuff. Why would you say this?
Oh yeah, well, obviously there's other interested parties. Now we have in fact heard from other very reputable pillars of the local community that
Briar's just gonna nudge Corey subtly with her elbow, just stop talking.
Well, I mean, a couple 100 gold is I've heard this is a very exquisite piece that is very, very, very valuable in the right hands, of course. Obviously, I never want to do anything wrong, especially for the church. But dangerous city.
I hope that in making your judgment, the faith will guide you to the right decision, but the monetary compensation should suffice. If it doesn't, then that is very unfortunate, but I need not remind you, I imagine, and she looks directly at Petro, that your tenets and your training should help you in guiding yourself to the right answer to the call of this cause. I am sure that you will be able to convince your friends in making the right decision here.
I understand that my friends, they want to get paid, but also more than important than anything is that we do the right thing. And I know that Corey and Briar feel the same way.
Well, that
Definitely.
makes me very happy. In that case, if you do wish to take up this cup or rather the scepter, you will need to travel to the outskirts of the city. It is not too far from here. When you reach the outskirts of the city, you will quite quickly find a chapel that is in between the spokes, which is an area where a lot of houses are, well, were, as it may. The chapel itself is still more or less standing. Now, I understand that you might want to consider this obligation, this task, but I would like to remind you that the fact that we already found a couple of these hoodlums that were planning to go and get this scepter will probably mean that a couple of Strack teams are on their way there right now. So whether or not you choose to help us out, in which I of course hope that you will help us out, a sense of urgency is important. And you should consider that when you make your decision.
Yeah.
My duty is to the sacred flame. And I bow again, like an awkwardly too low bow.
Wonderful, wonderful. I appreciate that very much, Petro. You are a staunch servant of the fire, and I can tell in your heart of hearts that you will do the right thing. I will leave for Camp Dawn. If you wish to speak to us again, hopefully with the scepter, you can find us over there. It is from the heart of Drakkenheim towards the southwest. You will find our camp very easily if you travel about a mile out of the city. I hope to see you there.
So we should go to the camp first and then the chapel after?
I would implore you to go to the chapel first,
Okay.
find the scepter, and bring it to me over there.
Is there anything
I
we
might even
should...
be able
we
might
should-
even
we
be
should
able
know-
to secure a meeting with the Knight Commander, if you so wish.
Is there anything we should know about finding the scepter?
The scepter itself should be buried in the crypts. I'd imagine that while the chapel is still standing, the crypts themselves might be slightly dilapidated over time, as nobody's been taking care of them. But you shouldn't find any trouble, I would hope, unless contamination is seeped in there, which I would not imagine the case.
Oh, well, that sounds pretty easy then. That's great. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
I know some people, they will add precautions or defenses around their places when they leave. So I imagine, is there anything that we should keep an eye out in this kind of place? Like if we're going down to the crypts, are there anything to ward off intruders and such?
It is a chapel, a place of worship. It is not a barracks or a castle.
I mean, if
There
you're gonna
shouldn't be
keep
anything that
if you're gonna keep very valuable artifacts, I assume there's some kind of defenses or something to protect it from scoundrels and thieves. Obviously, we are definitely not those kinds. We're gonna be on the lookout for those kinds. We're gonna make sure they don't go near it.
My good Sir Corey, the faith itself has safeguarded all of us and our treasures for hundreds of years. We do not need weapons to safeguard it.
All right. Okay. Sure. I totally believe you. Like, it's probably I hope it's safe.
It's
It's
true.
probably safe.
Good.
Yeah, it's actually very true. It's kept me safe pretty much my whole life.
You just crushed like 3 things back in that were fighting you. That wasn't fake. That was you.
Oh, I mean, it was both, really.
Cool. All right, Flame be with you.
And with you, Miss Briar, I hope that I can rest on your wisdom in dealing with delicate matters, that you will choose to do the right thing here as well. Now, I understand that you might not be a staunch follower of the falling fire or of the sacred flame, but I do hope that you will do the right thing here.
I will consider it. Thank you, Miss.
Now that is all I can ask. You have a wonderful day now. And she starts to leave the chapel together with her small detail.
Okay. Thank you. And then I walk out like very awkwardly.
This is like, you're saying your goodbyes and then one party leaves and the other does as well. And you have to go through the same exit. It's like, oh,
exactly.
Yeah, bye. Yeah.
Oh, you're walking that way? I'll go this way. I'll go this way. And then I think once we're outside, I want to convene with the group and maybe have a little chat.
Sure.
Well,
Yeah, Mr. Delicate.
I know that we're not within the four walls, but I mean, it sounds like they're talking about the same thing, right?
Corey just breaks out laughing. Yeah, he said don't say anything, and then she immediately brought it up. That was classic.
I mean, it sounds like the scepter belongs to the church, so really, we should probably go get it and bring it back to the church.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like the Blackjack Mel's gonna probably pay a little bit more, but I mean, if you think about it, I gotta say, Silver Order is pretty powerful, at least as far as what I've heard. So, might be nice to call in a few favors from some friends in high places, So,
And it's also a nice little in between of figuring out who to not piss off. Preferably, I don't want to piss off religious people.
yeah, like I ain't too concerned about the whole, religious thing. Sure, the whole flame and all that, amazing things. He looks at Petro. But at the same time, if these guys have like strike forces out and stuff, and they've already caught some of these thugs, yeah, I mean, it sounds like they're not too. You don't want to cross them. So,
Not to mention, there's items on top of gold.
true. These guys, their items are always like little amulets and things. Oh, this is gonna protect you from evil or something. It's just. I mean, if you believe it works, sure, whatever.
As you say this, like Petro kind of clutches an amulet that's like just under his shirt.
Oh,
Oh.
oh.
That stuff, he's talking to Briarstone. That stuff never works. It's all trinkets and tchotchkes.
Oh, okay.
I'm so sorry, Petro.
Oh.
That hurts.
Oh.
I think that I need to. A lot happened today, and I think there's somebody that I kind of want to talk to first before we make any big decisions.
All right. Well, I mean, I think we're just gonna head over to the hotel for a second just to see some friends. If you have another errand to do, if you wanna do something, or is this something you want?
yeah.
Do you want us to hang out with you? You want us to?
Oh
Tag
no,
along.
I think I need to do this one alone. But we can meet up later though.
All right. We'll see you soon. Probably. How about there? He points over at the three merchants in the middle. We can meet over at the center of town afterwards.
Oh, sure, that sounds good. And then we can get breakfast.
We just had breakfast, Petro.
Oh. We haven't had second breakfast.
Oh no!
Oh, Levensies does
Someone
sound
had to make
good.
it.
I throw an apple at Petro. All right.
We'll have a spot of afternoon tea later.
All right. Petro, you, I imagine, go across the bridge, don't you?
I do. Yeah, I'm gonna return to the stump where I met Zoya in the last session.
As you move across the bridge, give me a perception check. No, as a
Ooh.
matter of fact, give me a nature check.
Nature check. That one I'm actually
Yeah.
okay at. That is gonna be a 17.
Yes, indeed. As luck would have it, or perhaps it is just fate foreshadowing something to you. Probably fate, because you are a paladin. You walk over the bridge and you carelessly look at the stream of water underneath it, which at this point, like, it's not like a heavy stream of water. You notice that there is a dilapidated purplish lily pad in the water that doesn't look like it's gonna last for a lot longer. And on top of it, you notice a singular frog that is just sitting there and looking at you. The second you look at it, it hops into the water to just disappear. To anyone else, that would be just a frog. To you, this might hold a little bit more of a meaning.
Oh, wait, friend, wait. I'm gonna go down to the kind of like next to the water, and try to peer in and see if I see where it went.
It is actually moving. That would be upstream, so towards the east. So it's still in the water and it's swimming.
Oh, wait for me. Also, what's your name? And I cast. I'd like to cast Speak with Animals. As I'm
Oh
pursuing.
God. Okay. Hey DM, I got a great idea. You're not
Hey
prepared
DM,
for this
I've got
catch.
a great idea. You know all those voices you did not prepare yet?
Hello, my friend. I am
God,
Barbet
this is
the
the moment
Frog
where
here.
I wish I could do a Kermit the Frog voice, man. Oh. So
I'm gonna
as
leave
you
this
do
at
that,
the DM's discretion too, because I know that I am technically
No, we're-
level
no, we're-
3, but okay.
no, we're doing this. I
love it.
Yeah, don't call me out like that. Here's a frog token.
Yes.
Oh, it's so tiny.
Roll for initiative.
So the
Oh,
frog
shit.
hops.
Sorry.
Dude, it's got like 1 hit point. Like,
I swing with my great hammer.
so it hops out of the water and it wants to ribbit at you, and at that point you cast Speak with Animals.
Mhm.
So it goes kind of like, you're big.
Oh, I am pretty big. You're very small, but I've never really I haven't seen a frog in a long time. So it's really cool to meet you. What's your name?
Right. My name is Roger.
Oh, Roger. That's a really great name. I'm Petro. I believe in your language that goes.
Give me a nature check on that.
Oh, you insulted something.
Oh no!
Oh
Pray
no!
tell that this is not a natural one.
It's a 6.
The frog does like sort of like looks at you like with like a slightly cocked head as you say that, and he's like, well, "That's a different dialect than I know."
Oh, I'm sorry.
But-
I just learned how to speak frog. So.
It needed like an upward inflection, but other than
Oh.
that, yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. I'll work on that.
Raw. So what
Anyway.
brings you here?
Oh, I was looking for the druid that I met over here last time. She was very nice, and she said that if I ever needed anything, I could come talk to her. And I have a lot of questions that I'm very confused about right now, and so I was trying to find her.
That is old Sroya.
That's something like that, yeah.
Yeah,
Do-
she
do you
lives
know
over
where-
there, and like he like hops around, and like he lifts one paw and sort of like flops to the side as like his balance is off. He tries to indicate where it is.
Oh, okay. I'll head that way then. You can join us if you want. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go ask her a few questions.
Raw. Should I go on your shoulder?
Oh, sure. I can give you a ride.
Raw. All right. And he just like hops onto your big hammer, and he sits.
I
like,
kneel.
near the
I kneel
stone.
down. Yeah, and I put my hammer out like a ramp up to my shoulder.
Cute. There we go.
And then I head over to. It's this way, right? This way.
Raw. Raw.
I
That's
have
so
to
random.
say,
I love this.
for an impromptu frog impression, this is actually really good.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm
Pretty
getting
good.
perked up just thinking about it.
Oh,
All right, let's not hop into their discussion too much.
oh boy.
So as you get to the old stump,
Mm-hmm.
Roger actually like croaks up a little bit. And he's like, "Sroya, Sroya," and like it takes a second, but between a couple of trees, an old lady comes and approaches you. Yes. Hello.
Oh, hi Zoya. I don't know if you remember me. I'm Petro. I was here yesterday or maybe the day before, and I was trying to destroy some delirium. I wasn't doing a very good job at it. But you also said while I was here that if I had some questions or if I wanted to like learn nature stuff, that we could talk. And I just, I've learned a lot today, and it's been kind of a confusing day. And for some reason, I just felt like you were the right person to come talk to. Maybe learn and ask some questions.
She listens to everything you say, just completely quiet. And she nods a couple of times, and then she closes her eyes for a second and breathes in very deeply. You are an exceptionally interesting individual.
Oh, thanks so much.
You are in between so much. You are Furbolg, pretending to be human.
Oh.
You are a warrior of the light, of the fire, yet you cling to the ways of nature. You believe in your cause, yet you believe in other causes. You are conflicted and in between, and you are looking for guidance, are you not?
Oh, I don't know if I'd say conflicted, but I've just got a bunch of things that I really like, and I don't want to say no to any of them. And I can't choose one. But I wouldn't say I'm conflicted.
I don't want to say yellow, but yellow. Long, long time ago, there was talk of people who would come forth believing not in one, not in the other, but in a union of both. For light cannot go without dark, good cannot go without bad. And the powers of the sacred flame should not forget the ways of the old gods, just as the old gods cannot negate that which is brought forth by the sacred flame. You can be a vessel of both, should you so desire.
Oh, how would I do that?
As a warrior of faith, you shall bind yourself to a cause, and in upholding that cause you will find solace and purpose. For most, the tenets of the flame will be sufficient, but I feel for you the tenets of nature are closer to your heart.
I mean, I
If
did just
you-
make friends with this frog, and I think that he's part of nature. So, yeah, I think so.
Roger just nods and he says, he's not wrong.
That's such a good.
That's good. That's good.
Sorry.
Wrong. Zoya regards you and she says, it has been centuries since this has last been given, but I still remember the way. If you so wish to pledge your oath to nature, to shelter and secure, to safeguard that nature gives, you can bind yourself to that and serve your purpose. If that is what you truly wish, I can help you and I can
Well,
guide you.
I don't really think there's anything more important than nature. So in that sense, absolutely. But do you think the Silver Order will be mad?
The Silver Order is also in dire need of champions in this time where the world seems to start to be torn asunder. Perhaps a different outlook on things is warranted. Even the Silver Order will know this all too well, and they will not abandon you simply for a slightly altered look at things.
So what you're saying is, it'll actually allow me to be more useful, and to serve their purpose even better. Everybody wins.
Yes, everybody wins.
Oh, well, this sounds wonderful. I mean, I'd love to learn more about nature from you. If I pledge myself, can we be long-term friends?
Long term is something that I have given up on in my old age.
Oh,
But I can promise you this. If you pledge yourself to this oath, the old gods will always look over you, and there are more than just me that you can turn to in your hour of need.
Okay. And he kind of thinks for a moment. He looks over at Roger. What do you think, Roger?
I don't have that kind of power, but Zoya is pretty powerful.
She does seem pretty smart. Yeah. Well, okay then. Well, as long as I get to protect the trees and the frogs, then and the rivers, and the dirt, and the trees, and also the tadpoles, then yeah, I mean, this sounds great.
So she gives you like a subtle smile as you say all this, and she affirms to you by saying, the fact that you do not only mention trees or living creatures, but even the very soil you are standing on proves that you should go down this path. It befits you.
Well, nothing can exist without dirt. I mean, what would a tree be if it didn't have any dirt?
You see a sense of acknowledgement in her face, almost as if she finally is talking to someone that understands her innately without having like a fierce discussion. She points towards this very tree stump that you've seen yesterday, and she says, would you care to kneel in front of this tree stump for me?
Oh, yeah, of course. And I do so.
Now put your hands on this tree stump.
Okay.
If you wish to follow in the footsteps of the ancient old gods, then speak your oath here in the presence of nature, the old gods, and everyone else who wishes to hear this. And repeat after me. I vow to kindle the light of hope.
I, Petro, vows to kindle the light of hope.
Through acts of mercy, kindness, and forgiveness.
Through acts of mercy, kindness, and what was the last one?
Forgiveness.
Forgiveness.
Inspiring others to find solace and strength.
Ooh, I like this. Inspiring others to find solace and strength.
In times of despair.
Well, in times of despair, but also like normal times too. Pretty much all the time.
I love how you're doing like an active debate with her, like while you're taking your oath.
Yeah.
I vow to shelter the light of goodness,
Yeah, I do vow to shelter the light of goodness.
beauty, love, and laughter,
Beauty, love, and laughter. Those are all good things.
standing firm against the forces of darkness
Standing firm against the forces of darkness
that seek to extinguish them,
that seek to extinguish them.
I vow to preserve the light within myself.
I vow to preserve the light within myself and Roger.
Right about that. I shouldn't do that. Like, it doesn't help.
Roger the sassy frog.
Yeah. And he's a side character. Nurturing joy.
Oh, nurturing joy. Yeah.
Laughter and beauty in my heart.
Laughter and beauty in my heart.
For only by keeping my own light aflame
For only by keeping my own light aflame
can I hope to preserve it in the world.
can I hope to preserve it in the world and in Roger and in my friends and in Drakkenheim and in Emberwood Village.
She puts a hand on your shoulder, like, I vow to be a radiant beacon.
I vow to be a radiant beacon, rainbow
Of
colored.
rainbow colored, of hope and courage,
Of hope and courage,
illuminating the path
illuminating a path
for those lost in darkness,
for those lost in darkness,
spreading joy and inspiration through all my deeds.
spreading joy and inspiration through all my deeds.
I can hear you smiling at that. And I imagine Petro is doing the same thing.
Yes.
As you say that last word, the word deeds, it is as if nature itself around you just goes quiet for a second. And nature is quiet around these parts, but there is still the rustling of the few leaves that are still in the trees, the occasional bird that you would hear, even the croaking of Roger as he is like taking this all in, because like this is like, you know, he has something to tell, like back at the pond tonight, you know. Everything just falls silent as you say that last word.
Oh.
And you feel an innate glow inside of you. You feel yourself almost radiating for a second. And while you can't look at yourself, of course, because you don't have a mirror handy, you can see, looking at Zoya, that you indeed positively just glowed for a second.
Mm.
And as that stops, Zoya takes a step back and smiles broadly at you, showing like some crooked old teeth, and saying, "You have taken your oath to the ancient gods of these lands. Live by what you have spoken. Usher love, beauty, warmth, strength, and courage to all of those that you encounter, for life is precious, and you are its staunch defender."
And I think that like Petro normally is happy-go-lucky, but in this moment he feels like he feels the weight of what he's done, and he looks at Zoya, and probably one of his few serious moments in this campaign, he just says, I will do my best.
I am sure you will. Now, go forth, Petro, and make sure that those who need it are safeguarded and helped. Be the beacon that you need to be.
I will. And so will Roger. Well, you can stay here if you want, Roger. But...
Well, if you'd have me, I wouldn't mind sticking around a little bit.
Oh, sure, yeah. We'll just have to make sure that we get plenty of water on your back, because I think that frogs absorb through their skin, and that's how they drink water, and they need to stay moist. So I've got a little canteen here. So yeah, if you want to come with me, I'll just kind of put a few drops on you now and then.
All right. And he hops into your pack, which essentially means that you got a pet.
Wonderful.
It's amazing.
Sure. We're gonna have to workshop a little bit because he got one hit point. We're gonna have to workshop how we're gonna do this, but
Yeah,
He can survive in a
Love
bag
it.
of holding, right?
love it.
Give him like little tiny helmet.
Yes.
Oh, we'll have to get you
Let
a
me-
weapon
let me
pretty
write that
soon,
down.
so you can defend
Oh
yourself.
my god. Put a little spike at the end of his tongue.
Has Zoya left yet?
Yeah, as you like have your little conversation with Roger, and you look back up, Zoya has just mysteriously disappeared. Probably walked back in between the trees to give you a moment to yourself and Roger.
I think Petro walks over to the water. Then he just kind of looks at his reflection in the creek, and he's just like, "Well, got a long journey ahead of me, but I know that I want to protect nature along the way. So, this is important. I think, and I think that was the right decision. So, Roger, let's go save Drakkenheim or something."
What's Drakkenheim?
Oh, it's like this. It's like this big thing that humans built, but then it got destroyed, but it's still kind of there.
And you trail off talking to Roger as you like make your way back probably to the village center.
Mhm.
Love it. All right, panning over to our other two heroes. What do you guys do?
As I was telling you, I absolutely hate dirt. Like, I mean, look at this. It's everywhere. I mean, and everything nature, really. I wish I could pave over all of it.
Briar just seems like she's paying attention, but in actuality, she isn't.
Hey, Corey doesn't mind. He's just talking to himself.
So as you approach the hotel, in the garden outside, you will see River, being the Amethyst Academy's liaison, just standing out there, like staring outside, taking in like the morning breeze, and you have the idea that she has only just woken up.
Well, hello there, sleepyhead. Getting a late start to the day, are we?
Don't talk to me before I've had my coffee, please.
All right, princess. Let's go and get your coffee.
You pay?
What, with the prices they got in this hotel? Are you kidding me? Don't, in the academy, like, funding you here?
Well, not only a failure to the academy, but also not a gentleman. All right, I'll pay for it myself.
Of course not. What are we, like, friends or something? Anyway, hey, by the way, I think, like, you should be paying us. You should be getting us a cup of coffee. We are returning heroes, after all.
Heroes. What did you do? Kill a dragon?
He opens up his coat, and you can see in one of the pockets, he holds it open, and he's got a piece of the delirium. Read it and weep.
As she just like laughs at you, like almost scoffs at you, basically, for like, you know, pretending to be a hero. Her eyes catch like this octarine light that's coming off of these stones. Like, it's not like a flashlight, but it's glowing. And she looks over it, and her laugh immediately goes to like a, oh, you've been to Drakkenheim.
Oh yeah, that's just a small part of our huge haul that we just got.
You as well, then. And she looks at Briar.
Yes. Part of it.
She's like half the third of the reason why we even got it in the first place. She, look at, you've seen her in action. She's a like I said, a hero.
All right. You know what? I'll buy you that cup of coffee. I can talk to you two for a second.
He was not expecting that. Ah, okay. I was expecting that, sure.
He walks inside, and like the Red Lion Hotel is as I said last time, it's a gorgeous building. This is like, it's way too upper class for Amberwood Village to begin with. Most adventurers that are passing through this don't have the money nor the luxury to stay here. The very few that do are usually either very aristocratic, or the people that like squabble or the money over here to be like, you know, it's probably going to be my last night alive. Might as well have a nice place to stay. It's kind of how the business operates here. Inside, the tables, the chairs, everything, like, it's made exquisitely. It's maintained very, very delicately. It's got a menu to match. So as you sit down, the owner, Costa, comes over. And as she does, River looks at Costa and she says, "Oh, Costa, could I have 3? What kind of coffee do you like?"
As much sugar and cream, especially cream, as you can put in it.
Sure. What about you?
If you provide cold coffee, I would much like that with just a little bit of cream to it, please.
Oh, there you have it, Costa. For me, just like a normal black coffee. It's on me. Costa notes it down on a really pretty piece of paper and nods and without saying anything, moves to the kitchen to get you your coffee. As you probably take a glance at like the standing menu that is right next to you on the table, you'll notice that like a cup of coffee over here is like 6 gold each.
Well, fancy place for
That's
some
on me,
fancy
don't
people.
worry. Yeah, well, the Amethyst Academy pays well, and well, we're allowed to stay here, so I might as well, right?
Hmm.
So, you've been to Drakkenheim, and you found some delirium.
Oh yeah, it was a very interesting excursion into the city. Lots of very dangerous, rough-looking types that we had to deal with. But like I said, slice and dice over here. Like I've never seen someone move so quick with a sword. Very impressive. Very impressive. I do say so myself. And of course,
So,
obviously, we wouldn't have gotten any of it if I hadn't spotted the delirium and was able to extract it with my meticulous capabilities.
well, I'll give you that. The little shards you can find everywhere, and they're interesting, but you see, the potential delirium gets interesting when the chunks are bigger. That was a big chunk that you found over there. You got one like that as well? Also, I haven't properly introduced myself to you. My name is River, and you are? She looks at Briar.
Briar.
Briar. Nice to meet you. You're also not a member of the Amethyst Academy, I imagine?
I am not. I'm not really attuned with magical capabilities myself.
Right. That's all right. There's so many ways to get through life, and magic is only one of them.
Yeah.
Listen, Corey, was it, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Flints, if you please.
Sure. Flints. We may have gotten off on the wrong foot yesterday. I was a bit cranky, room issues, all of that.
Understandable.
But you seem capable, and you found some delirium. Are you keeping that?
Well, yeah, obviously. I mean, as you may or may not have heard, I am in fact an experimenter and a scientist in my own right. And he actually pulls out a little, not really clump of wires, but like a bunch of pieces of metal and some wires sticking out in the rough shape of a frog. And he holds up the delirium to it and slowly turns it clockwise into a slot, and it whirs to life. And
I've never seen, like, as you do that, like, she is like intently looking at it. She won't touch it, but she is intently looking at this. Interesting. I've never seen the application of delirium in this regard.
it like sort of gets up and looks around a little bit and just sort of cocks his head. He goes, "This is my little friend Norbit. He's gonna be aiding me in my journeys. Kind of like he's an assistant at this point. Yeah."
Interesting. Listen, if you're able to find delirium like that, how would you like to find something even bigger?
Yeah, my attention.
Well, this is a job that will get you a monetary compensation instead of a chunk of delirium. The Amethyst Academy is very interested in delirium, and as you might or might not know, delirium has some intriguing properties that get more exciting the bigger the chunk. The small shards of delirium are useful in their own right, but they don't offer the vast potential that the bigger crystals seem to have. But as you can imagine, the larger crystals are harder to come by. Funnily enough, if you would combine 3 or 4 small crystals, about the size of a larger crystal, it still doesn't hold the same power as the large crystal. It seems that the very nature of these crystals, the power of it, is tied to the size of its original crystal.
I kind of gathered that. I was messing around with these two, and he indicates that he had 2 larger ones. The smaller ones over here, they didn't really have the same amount of juice, you know? I can get that.
All right. So, the Amethyst Academy is very interested in delirium and is doing ample experimentation on these crystals, especially the larger ones, but they're very hard to come by. They're being stolen out of the city left and right, sold for, the right price. Because of that, I might have a proposition for you. I have word on the location that should probably have a sizable chunk that was broken off what we think of the meteor and has crashed down in the outskirts of Drakkenheim on a place that used to be a tavern. As you can imagine, the tavern didn't survive this impact. But we are pretty sure that that crystal is still there. If my information is correct, this crystal is so big that it should be worth about 1,000 gold.
He tries to hide his
The
interest.
The Amethyst Academy is willing to pay 1,250 gold for this. If, of course, you will get this crystal to us. So as much as you're interested in these crystals yourselves, and I understand, we want to have this crystal. We'll pay you 1,250 gold for that. You can get a lot of smaller chunks of delirium to work with yourself for that.
We'll obviously have to confer with my business associates about this, but it's a very, very intriguing offer.
It's not. I will, if you're serious about this, I will understand that this is just what I know. Could be that when you come over there, the crystal is gone, and you will turn up with nothing, and, well, that is what it is. That's the nature of Drakkenheim.
Yeah.
As such, I want to show that we too mean business. I can offer each and every one of you a potion of healing as sort of an advance of our good faith in the event that you turn up nothing. That doesn't change anything about the price. You find that crystal, you bring it in its entirety to us, 1,250 gold is waiting for you.
Whereabouts is this location? And we have another marker in the city that we know roughly where it is. It's a little chapel in the outskirts of the city. I kind of want to see. He wants to ask, in relation to those two, is this a twofer that they can do? Close enough.
Everything is if you travel through Drakkenheim. So you tell her that the Chapel of Saint Brenna is in the Spokes, right? And she says, it depends on how far you want to travel through Drakkenheim. So in the Spokes is the area outside of the city walls on the east side of the river. This tavern, it's called a Rat's Nest Tavern, is on the west side, the west bank of the river, a little ways into what they used to call the Sprawl over there. There were a lot of buildings there. Most of them have been completely destroyed. But if you go and look over there, near the Shepherd's Way into the city, you will find this tavern. It's a little ways away, and you'll have to find a way to get across the river. But beyond that, you should find it no problem.
Any kind of dangers that, aside from the general dangers of Drakkenheim, obviously, but anything specific to this job that you think one's going to have to look out for?
Well, 2 things. First off, as you mentioned, the dangers of Drakkenheim in its entirety. I understand that you're trying to be dismissive about this. If you're serious, you would take the dangers seriously. There can be a lurking behemoth in there that is trying to eat you for lunch. I'm not trying to be funny. This can be dangerous. Even on the outskirts of the city, something can go very, very wrong. Every single time you go into the city, that is a risk that you will take. and
I understand.
rasking. That's what I'm saying.
One of the things I'm thinking about is that so far that I've noticed, the delirium's pretty dense. It's pretty heavy. Like when I was carrying a couple of those pieces earlier, they weigh a little bit. Now you're talking about a really big chunk. I got a big, strong, fighter guy who could really help out with this kind of thing. But like, I don't think he can run around holding. Oh, what are we talking about in terms of size and weight?
It's going to be a really large chunk. And I imagine that because of its size, it is also going to be heavy. It's hard to say. You're probably going to need maybe a rope or something to drag it with you, or if you have a very big pack or something, you might be able to store it in. But it's going to be heavy. If I have to call out a number, gosh, it's a lot.
Or if you just happen to have a very large friend.
Oh yeah. So I was gonna say, I like I said, I got a friend who is very, very strong, very, very big. It's just a matter of like, is this gonna be the size of it's not the size of a house, obviously. I get the relative sizes, but like, he could probably carry you pretty easy. But if it was like you, me, and Brian all together, it would probably be a little bit more rough for him to like lug around. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get that. It is going to be heavy, and you're going to have to. Well, I mean, if you got a really strapping guy with you that can carry it with both hands, you're fine. Don't touch it with your bare hands, by the way.
I know. I am.
do hope that I don't need to. Yeah, I just.
Yeah, I got my methods. He like just his gauntlet sort of like flips up for a second.
But I would say, and this is a long shot. I haven't seen the crystal myself. This is just hearsay. But I would say a chunk like that is, I don't know, anywhere between 40 and 80 pounds in that region. So it's heavy, but it's.
Oh yeah, no, this guy like he carries a hammer that's even heavier than that. So he's fine. Okay, cool. All right, that's good to know. Understandable. And you said the Rat's Nest Tavern?
Yes.
He gives a knowing
that
glance
what
over
it's
to
called.
Erudite or Briar. Oops.
I think we could make the trip along our way.
That's something. Yeah, we could consider it.
All right.
We'll come back and talk about those potions of those health potions. That would be a very useful advance.
If you're considering to take this assignment, I will be very happy to give those to you. And do note that I hope I don't have to underline this, but your continued discretion ensures continued employment. If you're interested in this sort of things, I can help you find more of these kind of jobs. But discretion is important.
Everybody wants discretion. Yeah. I can keep my mouth shut.
Good.
What? Come on. They know I'm known as tight-lipped Flints. Okay? Come on.
Briar's just gonna give like a little eyebrow raise to him, just like, really?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And it would be.
So I imagine you
interesting.
finish your coffee and then.
We're also here on other business. Briar has something that she's looking for.
Really?
Yes, two things actually. Have you come across any dwarves that have come inside here recently by chance?
I have, actually. There's a clan called the Ironhelm clan. They hold a couple of rooms here.
Do you know if they're going to come down at any point in time?
I'm not sure what they're doing inside the city, but they do something within the city limits. And every once in a while they come here to recuperate, as I'm sure you can understand. If you stay too long in the city, that is disadvantageous to your health. I'm not sure where they are right now. I haven't seen them, but I do know that they do come here to recuperate.
Okay.
So maybe Costa knows. I know at least that they do stay here. They do have rooms. I'm not sure if Costa wants to share this with you, but you can always try.
Hopefully she can. And secondly, the letter you gave me. Who gave this to you?
Unfortunately, there are things that At this point in time, I cannot tell you without knowing you better. And since we only know each other for a very short while, I hope you understand that that is all I can offer you for now. Again, discretion is important, and I also have things to abide to. I was told that with this letter, you should know enough to move on from that. Beyond that, I don't know much.
I see. Thank you. Thank you anyway for the information so far.
You're welcome.
Well, it will be a very interesting experience to work with the academy after all this time.
Yes. I think the academy can learn something from someone like you.
He's not gonna. He's a little proud of that. Let's go talk to Costa.
Are you okay, Corey?
I'm fine. You know, you think you dream about it for years and years, and as they're walking away, it's like never quite the same when it actually happens.
Yeah, because it looks like there's a little bit of fur getting wet on the corner of your eye there.
I'll be fine. So Norbert, how you doing, little buddy? He just little frog, sort of just taking in the world on his shoulder. It's
So
a
as
little.
you look over there,
Uh-huh.
As you look over there, you notice that Briar actually bumps into someone who is a lot shorter than Briar. And as they bump into each other, you can hear a voice that says, sorry. And as you look down to see who this is, we're going to take our break to reveal that after the break. Hello, everybody. We are back from our break. Thank you for hanging around for us and or joining our Discord and talking with us over there. It was a lot of fun to have a little talk with all of you. So thank you for that. And for those of you on YouTube, thank you for sticking around for probably that like 2 seconds before we came back from our break, because that's how that goes on YouTube, right? That's great. So, quick summary. Before our break, our characters had a walk around the town of Emberwood Village, talked to a couple of important people, amongst which are Blackjack Mel, a important person who seems to be in league with the Queensmen, and Ophelia Reed, who seems to hold a high position of power with the Silver Order Paladins. After that, they split up. Petro, our resident paladin, did an oath of the ancients near the shrine of the old gods, with old Zoya guiding him through that. And he made a little friend, which I think by now is just going to be a pet. So we have Roger the Frog, who is going to be
Oh God.
right beside him.
Everybody meet Roger.
Yes.
Oh.
Everybody needs a little Roger in his life. And then Briar and Corey went over to the Red Lion Hotel to talk with River, the agent for the Amethyst Academy, and she too offered a bit of a job to Corey and Briar. After which they departed, and they ran into someone, which prompted the little break that we did. So we are back at that point. Did I miss anything? I don't think I did, right?
We made our own oaths over here with blackjack and gambling. In fact, forget the oath.
Right.
I also ran into a very short man.
Yes, indeed. And that is where we're going to start. So as you look in front of you and you bump into this shorter man, he looks up at you. He's like, sorry. And if you look down to see like who this is, you're looking at a gentleman who's probably like half your size. He's rather stout, bit like broad built, and he looks both like 2 parts rugged and 2 parts well taken care of. And he's looking up at you with like one goggle in one eye and an immaculate beard and mustache, which obviously I can appreciate. As he looks up at you, he's like, "Well, you're a tall lass. Excuse me, I was just on my way to my room."
Do you happen to be a group of dwarves that is staying here?
He looks around him. He's like, Well, I appreciate the idea of considering that I'm a whole group, but I'm just by myself, lassie.
It's just you?
For today, yeah.
I'm very curious about your wares. I hear you sell guns.
Who would have ever told you that, lass?
I just heard stories around the town, asking around.
Word travels fast in these parts. Aye, we are purveyors of fine arms that pack a bit of a better punch than just your old crossbow or bow. Unfortunately, I currently do not have anything on me, but if you're keen to purchase any guns, and perhaps we can talk shop next time that either my sister or my brother is here. They usually carry the weapons with them.
I'm very interested if you could possibly set up a meeting for us.
I could arrange that. What kind of weapons are you looking for?
Long range, medium range, maybe small handheld.
You can probably take care of that. Next time you're in town, come back to the Red Lion Inn and ask for Mordecai.
Mordecai.
He's my brother. He overlooks all the weapons and cannons that we smith. He should be able to help you out. My name's Reginald, by the way. Reginald Irondown.
My name is Briar. It's a pleasure to meet you.
He offers you like a very meaty hand.
I'm gonna go ahead and extend my smaller hand.
It
And shake-
dissolves like in his hand as he like, grabs it, and you get like shaken in a friendly manner, like he's not doing a strength competition. Still, it kind of feels like one. Like your arm goes like, oh, as he shakes it.
I just, she's gonna be quite shocked at how firm of grip he has.
You're a strong lass. I like that.
Hi there, name's Corey. I heard about cannons. What?
Aye. Yeah, we
He sort of
we got
springs
a
up.
couple of we got a couple of cannons set up where we have our workshop.
Interesting. Very interesting. Sorry, go about your business. My bad. He's just patiently listening.
Ah, all good, kitty. So yeah, hope to see you again, miss. This town could use a couple of friendly faces. You seem to have one.
Thank you.
All right. I best be going on my way. See you again soon.
See you later,
And he
dwarfy.
sort of like, aye. It's Reginald.
Yeah, it's Corey.
He sort of like passes.
Yeah, it's Corey.
He passes by.
Kitty. Everyone call me Kitty. Why does everyone call me Kitty?
I mean, you did call him Dwarfy.
Well, you called me Kitty first. You heard them. Come on.
Agreed to disagree.
Matter of principle.
He called me. You heard him. And he's just like coming after you, like, come on.
What?
It's a matter of who said what first.
Well, he obviously called me Kitty, and then I got mad and I called him Dwarfy. Of course, he's being rude.
But who was the one who said Dwarfy first? I do believe hearing it was you.
I said it at the end after he called me a kitty. Like,
Yes.
obviously, I wouldn't. I mean, I'm not gonna. He's a potential customer, but then he comes at me with disrespect.
As you come to the caravan court, which is in the middle of town, you see that Petro is already waiting for you over there, and he has struck up a conversation, or has gotten a conversation struck up to by Elderly Ments. He's currently talking.
So, I know that you sold this helmet to another guy, but then he went into Drakkenheim and something killed him. And then I found him, and then he wasn't using it anymore. And so I just decided, put it to good use. And so I gave him a funeral rite and took the helmet and put it on my own head. But I promise that I'm not going to attach the arrow because it's in remembrance of him.
Quick question. Does Petro know how to do funeral rites, or did he just say that he tried to?
I mean, he sort of did when we were there. So that's not a lie. He put a He put a sacred flame, I think it was like a handkerchief or something, over his face and said some words.
That's true. I'll put a pin in that for now. So as you say that,
but to answer your question, ceremony is not a spell that I learned until the 3rd level. And so therefore, when he was level 2 and he actually did those things, it was more just out of respect and less an official ceremony.
right, you
So
did learn
that's the
this, I
more
think.
that's the
So
more
we're-
metagamey answer.
Are we going to go by the lines of like you've probably had this during your training, but it hasn't stuck completely with you?
I think more along the lines of like he knows that he's not at that expertise yet, or he knew, but he knew that he had to do at least something to show respect.
That is good enough for me for now. Okay, thanks. There's a reason why I'm asking you this. It'll all become clear in due time.
Sure, yeah.
So as you say this to Alder, he's just laughing, looking at your helmet, and he's like, "Well, it looks very good on you too, and I'm glad that you found a way to recycle my wares. You know, it's good advertisement to see my stuff being used by the true heroes of this realm."
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it didn't work for him, but I'm sure it'll work for me.
So, you don't strike me as the person who likes to read a lot, do you?
I've read before.
Hmm. You interested in you're interested in something magical?
Oh, that's not really my bag, but what is it?
I seem to have run into this magical book that seems perfect for those that are only dabbling in magic, don't know what they're doing, but would like to try their hand at it once. It looks interesting. I've thumbed through it myself, and I think for the right buyer, this could be an interesting piece.
Oh, maybe one of my friends. I bet Corey would like to take a look.
And probably at this point, like they're actually
Definitely said it first. He definitely said it first. Come up.
Ah,
Hey, Aldor.
How are you doing? Corey, was it? Yes.
Yeah, it's Corey. We're big, big adventures now. We've been in the city doing all kinds of amazing things. You know, the usual.
What about you, Brian? You don't use magic a lot, do you?
I don't believe I'm attuned to magic, really. I've mainly just used weapons all my life.
I mean,
Would you like to give it a try?
I'll take a look.
Sure. Look but don't touch. Touch but don't use. It has a price, but you can have a look at it for now.
He reaches into his caravan, and or his wagon rather, and he pulls out this tome, this book. And it's a really peculiar book. It on the front cover, the front cover is like colored in yellow and black, and it seems to feature like a very small like picture of a guy with like a triangular head and circles for eyes. That has like one finger pointed up as if he's trying to explain something. And the book itself says the Book of Spells. Before you do anything, give me a perception check.
Me?
Yeah. He's
Okay.
handing it to you.
Let me. I was about to have a heart attack.
Not bad.
It does strike you as odd that the word spells is written with a Z instead of an S as he hands you this book.
for those we can't see, that was an 18 on the perception check.
She's gonna kind of just examine this book, and she's just like, it's a little odd that it says spells with a Z rather than an S. What kind of book
I'm
is
pretty
this?
sure that's how you spell. Yeah, that's how you spell that. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I'm not much of a magic user myself, but I've understood that this is a perfect starting point for those that haven't got the official training of the academy, but still want to dabble a bit in magic. You've been very kind to me previously, and well, I'll be honest. I felt a bit cheated when the other orc came over and stole this helmet right from you when you tried to purchase it, and well, highest buyer and all that. I'm sure you understand, but I did feel bad for you. Now, it seems that he has succumbed to Drakkenheim, as so many do, but you haven't. Maybe it feels only just that you found this helmet and can keep it. I still do want to do something else back. This book seems to be not particularly interesting. It's not really my forte, but if it would have your interest in trying it out, you can have it for a cheap price.
Oh, how much were you thinking?
Oh, it's just a training manual, really, it seems. Well, let's say 50 gold and you can have it.
50
Oh,
gold. It's just a training manual. Yeah, that's way too expensive for this. Come on.
Well, let's see you cast any magic, Corey.
Oh, you want to see someone cast magic? Hey, hang on. He starts rifling around for something.
Well, can I see it first?
Go right ahead. And he points to Briar, who's currently holding it.
I put my hand out.
She's gonna kind of just. She's gonna have like both of her hands in the book, and she's just gonna kind of like just raise her hands.
Oh,
and she's standing up to
let me just get that. Thank you.
You do not have
and
sufficient permission to view the sheet for this page.
I just kind of flip through it to see what's in there.
Sure. Roll me a d12.
A D12. Ooh.
Yeah, we can finally use a d12 for this.
Ooh. The dagger heart dice. Okay. Rolling now. It's a 4.
All right. So flipping through this book, you notice that it is in very like nice large letters that are like easy to read for a lot of people, even probably for Petro. It just entails like a couple of like things like how magic works, where does it come from and whatnot. You'll notice like on the sides of the pages there are like little icons of like a little target with an arrow in it and like an exclamation mark that sort of warn you for things like, warning, magic might actually open up a portal to the fire plane. Please consult anyone who actually knows magic before using this. It's things like that.
One.
So it basically entails like, what does magic do? Then as you flip through it, you do notice that a couple of spells are written out, and with your 4 you will see that the spells in here that are detailed are at least Speak with Dead, Ice Storm, Fireball, and Message. You notice that there's a lot more, but these are the 4 that you see.
Oh, what's this message one do?
Who do you ask?
I just kind of mutter this out loud, and I start looking at that page.
If you don't think I can do any magic, you wouldn't mind if I would have taken a closer look at this book and definitely not use any magic to identify some of the things about it, huh?
Oh, yeah, please take it. Here.
I was insulting Aldo. Okay, sure. Can I pull out my little handheld generator and ritually cast Identify?
So you take 10 minutes to try to identify this?
Yeah. You just wait, Aldor. I'll show you.
Aldor gets another bit of like Misty Oak's tobacco and like puts it in his thing, and it's like,
God damn it.
It's understandable that like you do want to know what this is.
Do you also have an extra pipe by any chance? I'll join you.
Sure. If you have an extra pipe here, I do sell a couple of them here for 2 silver.
Oh, okay, sure. And I hand him 2 silver.
Great. He gives you a pipe without any tobacco.
Oh, great. And I just start like inhaling without anything in it.
I love that. I knew you were going to say that, and I love it.
I have a pipe out of my bar. I want to go get it for now.
This one must be from overseas. It's got a rich tanginess to it.
Yes. I imagine it's a very airy flavor.
Elder's is grinning at you, like, as you're doing this. All right, so you ritually cast,
Identify.
10 minutes
Yep.
to identify this book.
And so,
Right.
so at the end of the 10 minutes, a spark, lights up in the generator, and his goggles start like whirring up, and Norbit comes over his shoulder and starts speaking.
All right. So you will learn that this is indeed an inherently magical object. The object itself will allow you to cast the spells that are described within this book. There are more spells than just the 4 described. As a matter of fact, through your detect magic, I would imagine that you will learn all the spells that are in there, which will be in no particular order: message, mage armor, hold person, speak with dead, ice storm, teleport, wish, fireball, and magic missile.
And can anybody cast these?
You will learn that anyone who is attuned, now anyone who's holding the book, you don't need to be attuned to it. Anyone who holds this book is allowed to learn how to use the spell once per day. So you can cast one of these spells per day, and it
You can
resets.
cast-
Wish.
Sorry.
Once,
Ooh.
yes. I see your shock.
I mean, this is Jed's shock. Like, Petro doesn't care, but like, holy.
So
you can cast one of these per day. I will say one more thing that you will notice about this book is that even though you will learn all of this that I have just told you, you will learn that there is a certain kinship between you and this book, Corey, in terms of swindling. There's something about this book that just doesn't feel right, but magically you don't know what it is.
So Norbit, my little mechanical frog, speaks up and says,
Well, it looks like this book is especially magical. It's got a lot of magical effects. It's got like wish. It's got this. It's got that.
I list them all out.
Something feels a little bit off about it, though. It feels a little bit like kind of like almost like a forgery or something weird. It's weird.
You have a Roger too?
This is Norbit. He's my lab assistant.
Oh, hey Norbit. And I give him like a little pat on the head.
Hi there. I'm just here for identification.
Oh, are you
pull Roger out of your pack as well?
Huh?
You pull Roger out of your pack as well?
Not yet. No, I
Okay.
You're a frog. How did you learn to speak common?
I'm just here for identification.
And he slowly starts walking or crawling back to the bag.
Oh, okay. Also, friends, I made a new friend over by the river. And then Roger hops out of my bag and onto my shoulder. Friends, this is Roger. He's a frog that lives down by the river. And he said he wanted to travel with us. I probably won't bring him to Drakkenheim, but I figured he could come around with us in Emerald Village and see all the people around. And less importantly, I also took an oath over by the river. But mainly I met Roger.
We're gonna backtrack a little bit here. So you met a frog, and you took a pledge. You did an oath.
Yeah, to nature. I really like nature, and I like Roger, and I want to make more friends like Roger. So I kind of vowed to protect nature, as part of my ongoing mission with the Sacred Flame.
Right. Religious things.
Anyway, I don't want to interrupt.
Sorry, I'm still stuck on Roger Froggington. Oh God. Oh yeah, for everybody who's listening and on along in the podcast, the frog is now named Roger L. Froggington. And
The third.
Oh God. That's amazing.
Yep. I took like 5 minutes during our break to like just think of some lore around this frog. So let's go. Like it's canon.
All right. Looks like there's something fishy about this book, but it looks pretty legit. Now, what are you trying to do, pawning off on us? Well, it seems like you would be the kind of guy to, sell to the highest bidder.
Usually I only get two sorts of people near my caravan, either those that use magic and want to have magic items, and those that don't use magic and don't want magic items. Very few that's sort of in between. And even if they are, then one has something powerful, a magic wand or something. This is a peculiar item, and, well, I'll be fair, I thought of you when I came across it. Maybe you would have a use for it, and if not, then fair game, but I wanted to offer it to you, at least.
Over to Briar. Hey, as much as I hate to admit it, there's a lot of really powerful spells in this thing. You won't get it?
This is true. I can pitch in for it.
I only got 5 gold. I haven't sold any of the. Did you guys ever sell that the clothes and other things that we looted? I mean, reclaimed from yesterday?
Oh, how much gold do you need?
Well, I can sell off the 2 small crystals. I already pretty much got all the use out of them. But the bigger ones, I got to keep them for. Actually, Norbert here is actually powered by one of them things. So, I got 20. So I need another 25 for it.
Well, if you need to borrow some gold for now, that's totally fine. You're my friend, and I definitely want to help my friend, especially if you want that cool book.
Well, so out of character, I don't want to. I mean, okay, never mind.
Out of character, I have 43 gold currently.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, I think all of us can use this as we can do what we need to. I just want to read over it a little bit, get some understanding of how it works, because if maybe we can extract the magical energy out of this thing, we might be able to have ourselves a really powerful kind of item.
Oh, sure, yeah, absolutely. And then with Aldor within hearing range, I kind of loudly say to Corey something along the lines of, "Oh, you need 25 gold? I only have 20 in my pouch. Maybe he'll sell it for less." And then I give Corey a big wink.
Oh, if only we had an extra 5 gold.
Oh, but we don't, so...
Aldor will just sit back and smoke his pipe and see this happening. And as you do this little theatric, once you're done, and you probably look side-eyed to him, is this even going to work?
Yeah.
He lets out a belly laughter. And he says, "I can tell we're becoming friends. You ventured into Drakkenheim, you've survived once, you're going to survive more times. You know what? For that 5 gold difference, I need one thing in return. Nothing is free. I'll give you the 5 gold discount, but I will need your assurance that the next time you find something interesting in Drakkenheim, you come to me.
Oh,
Sure, we can make a good deal."
What kind of interesting thing?
I'll leave that up to your discretion. I do dabble a bit in delirium crystals, though usually that's Orson's thing.
And he points to one of the other caravaneers.
But anything other magic items that you don't need, interesting armor, treasures that are not too hot to handle, anything like that, you come to me and I'm interested. Oh, and food. You find any unspoiled food? Well, you don't think you will in Drakkenheim, but one never knows. I have a taste for, candied salmon and unspoiled apples.
If I find
Anything
any
like that.
candied salmon, then I'll bring it straight to you and we can split it.
Well, that's very kind of you.
Also, if you find any flies or little bugs that Roger can eat, please hang on to those.
Yes. Well, you're sure.
What's that, Roger? Oh, he said he likes roly polies.
You're already getting the 5 gold discount. Be happy with it.
I know, but it's so fun. Okay, I
Running
think we've got
puppies.
I think we've got a deal then.
Rally puppies.
All right. I'll give him my 5 gold and 2 pieces of delirium that I assume. Hey, as far as I understand, these 2 pieces of delirium, I can get 25 gold a piece for these. But for you, I'll sell them for 10 each.
Yes. I'll accept them at market value, which is 10 gold apiece.
Eh.
But good try. You're a little bit more pizzazz. You would be fit to run a caravan of your own, Corey. Well, it's 25 gold and 20 from you then, Petro.
Yep. And then I dig through my bag and pull out 20 gold.
Splendid. Well, here you go. I hope the magic interred in its tomes and paper will suit you well.
Yeah. He just starts flipping through it. Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Yes. Well, good luck out there and don't die.
Oh, also, Aldor, over at the Skull and Sword, they got a shipment of potatoes and they're really good. I just thought you should know.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, sure.
Bye.
Oh, okay, bye. Okay, bye.
All right. I think let's go back to my shop and let's reconvene and chat about what we gotta do. Okay? I think we got a lot of things.
Was I awkward? Did I say something?
No, you're fine. He's weird.
Oh,
You're doing-
okay.
You're doing
I
great,
thought maybe
Petro.
I was the weird one, but it's good to know that I'm not.
You're doing great, Petro.
Oh, thanks.
So as you approach the shop that is owned by Corey, you get to I imagine the front door, right?
Yeah, we're heading that way.
Yeah. As you reach the front door, it is obviously still closed. Corey would do well to lock that up just to be sure. As you get close to the front door, who's taking charge? Who's leading? Is it Corey or is it somewhere else?
I'm flipping through the pages, so I'll walk from the back.
Right.
I'm just kind of following the crowd. I don't really think that I'm making a point of being out front.
I'm assuming it's going to be me opening this door.
All right. So as you get to this door, which is locked at the moment, and you reach for the door, all of a sudden you are shocked to hear a sound that comes from this door towards the 3 of you.
Welcome to Corey Flint's Import-Export Emporium. Corey Flint's currently ain't at his desk right now, but he'll return shortly to help you with all your mechanical-arcanical needs. Until then, defenses have been activated. Please step away slowly.
Oh, Briar,
Oh.
step back.
Sorry about no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I need hang on. I'm gonna turn that off for now. As he gets closer, it doesn't trigger anymore. I spruced up the joint. I brought those 2 crystals I sold Aldor. I actually used them to power these things.
Oh, okay.
Fun times. All right, let's chat. We got a couple of things to talk about, huh?
That we do.
All right.
Interesting things.
Sorry, still looking at a book. Okay. So Petro, we know that you got your holy mission to go get that scepter for the church. That's a thing. That's agreed. Agreed. That's the thing. What are you thinking about that? Is that what kind of priority we talking? Is that end of the world kind of thing, or do you just they'll be fine without it?
Well, it's the mission of the Silver Order to destroy all of the delirium in Drakkenheim. And I've decided that I don't know if I fully agree with that one. And so I've decided to bend a little bit. And he pulls the little tiny, the smaller pieces of delirium out of his bag, and he hands them to Corey. He says, "So I think that you should have these, but also, I think that scepter belongs to the church, and they asked us to bring it back, and I don't think that. I think that if we got it for someone else, it'd be stealing, and so I think that we should go and get that for the church."
What do you think, Brian?
I'm personally more on the neutral terms. I don't want to deal with people like the Queensmen, nor am I too overly fond of working among the sacred flame. But if it comes down to it, I really think there's something more to this scepter than what's being told of us.
And we're gonna have to step on eggshells around the sacred flame.
As well as the Queensmen.
Yeah, true. No, that's true. I get where they're coming from, and I can understand trying to, make sure you're surviving out here, doing what you got to do. But I feel like they're really pushing things, shaking down businesses, and I've sold a couple of things that don't exactly work. And sure, yeah, sue me. Don't sue me. Actually, I don't have any. Anyway, I don't know.
Also, if you think about it, Blackjack said that he really wanted Drakkenheim to belong to the people, but then he's following a queen. That doesn't really make any sense if you think about it. I mean, I agree that the people should have Drakkenheim. I like people, but a queen, and that's like just one person. That's not a people. That's a person.
Yeah. No, I understand where you're coming from. Now, I am interested in finding out more about this queen. Honestly, like, I've seen some gangs coming up and down the place. They do their thing. They're intimidating some people, but they're really just a bunch of regular folk. Now, this Mel seems to speak with a lot of authority. I don't know exactly. I mean, then again, I'm an expert on a lot of different things, so I don't know. I don't know if we can trust him, but at the same time, he's offering a lot of gold. But yeah, now the Silver Order, we'd have to be careful around them because they're a little touchy about the subject of these experiments.
And I understand that, and I just think that we should not resort to stealing, and I think that we should just try to do the rightest thing possible, even if it's not perfect.
I wonder, though, if we were to help them with their little staff thing, I wonder if that would buy us a little, leeway, so to speak. They don't seem as flexible as you. Their
Oh, that's true.
Their bearings, but we could fly under their radar. Maybe we could destroy a little delirium for them. Get it out of the way so they won't. Oh yeah, we got rid of that big old chunk over there.
I don't think I can lie to them, but I also don't have to explicitly say exactly what we're doing.
Oh, don't worry about it, Petro. It's doing the world a greater good thing. It's for what do you say you think you pledge to nature?
Oh yeah, the old gods, in nature and Roger.
Sure. Yeah, it's probably for the best for all of the. All right. Sure. Yeah, it's probably for the best for dirt if we were to do this. If we can, who knows? Maybe we can use delirium to make dirt less clean. Is that how it works?
I'm still not sure about delirium. But while I'm figuring it out, I'm just not going to destroy it. That's all I'm saying.
I appreciate that, and I'll continue to do my experiments and try to find out a way to make it a little less dangerous. But so yeah, we got those two. They both seem to seems like it's sort of a one or the other kind of choice. Petro, you weren't there for this, but Brian and I, we were talking to the Hood and Lanterns over there. They have a member of their organization has gone to a location that actually happens to be another place that you didn't hear about. The Queensmen, or sorry, the Hooded Lanterns have asked us to go scout out a location called the Rat's Nest. It's a tavern over on the east side of the city, and one of their members seems to have gotten lost over there. And who knows? Maybe they're fine. Maybe we'll run into them on the road, or maybe we need to get a little information for them.
Oh, that's wonderful. I will say though that usually if I go on an adventure, or especially if I have to like heal any of you or anything, I often really just need some rest afterwards. So I don't know if we can do them both in one outing.
Oh yeah,
but we can certainly try.
Well, and that's what we're talking about here. Is we're talking about like what is the most important, because obviously, the Queensmen, they got a lot of money. There's a lot of money on the table. However, it seems like no one's gonna die if they don't get their fancy stick. Same thing with the church.
I will say too that it sounds like other people are looking for the scepter, so we should probably kind of hurry, to be honest.
Well, and there's the question: if the church already has people out there looking for the scepter, I mean, they're probably gonna find it before we even get there.
Oh, but they're sending me.
Right. Okay. Well, so yeah, that's important. That's something to consider. And yeah, agreed. Honestly, no, I was talking about it earlier. Like, if they were close by, maybe we could swing by both places. This city, no matter what I've been saying to all these other people, that's a very dangerous place. I don't feel comfortable staying the night in that in the haze. Okay? I don't think we should.
I agree with you.
So,
I've heard it's bad.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the Academy was also telling us that there's something over a little chunk of delirium that they're interested over in the Rat's Nest as well. So basically, what I'm saying is there's two places we could go. One place we might be able to help a couple of people, maybe save a couple of lives. Who knows? Get a lot of money. And the other place is we help the church, and they might steal our delirium.
Well, I mean, you seem to be really smart and know a lot about Drakkenheim, so I think you should choose.
Raya, what do you think?
I believe we should consider more of the Hooded Lanterns. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but Sacred Flame as well. And the Amethyst Guild. I believe, personally, just due to some of the ties that the Queensmen have, I would prefer to avoid getting too close to them.
You're probably right. And who knows? Maybe we can, show them that we're extra capable by doing a couple jobs, and then they'll come back and we'll be able to up our rates a little bit with it. I like what you're thinking. Okay.
On that note about the reputation thing, you did agree to something that I asked for a few days ago. You said that we would come up with a team name, and I'm not saying that we need to come up with it now, but I would really like it if we started a brainstorm.
And you're still not okay with doing Flint's and Company?
It's just that then I'm just in company.
Companies have been very important.
I know I'm good company. It's just, I feel like it maybe should represent all of us, and Roger too.
Orbit pops up.
Yeah, I agree.
Whatever.
Why not take all the initials of our first names?
What?
The first
Sure,
letter?
That seems real weird. Well, let's think about it a little bit. You know what? Why don't we talk about it overnight? It's getting a little late into the morning. We're already getting close to close to noon. Probably should figure out what we want to do.
It's a big decision. I know.
You know what? I'm really thinking that it might be good to have some friends in the in high places over at the church. I mean, goes against my better judgment, but I feel like a favor could be useful from them. You guys in?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Of course I am.
Yeah, I hope that hooded lantern doing all right. We'll maybe we can see how they're doing, and maybe we can help them out next time.
Or, since it'll technically be on the way, we could swing by there.
Where the rat's nest?
Yes.
As far as I understand, it's on the opposite side of the city.
True, but it would also be close enough to your quest involving the Amethyst Guild. Since there was that chunk.
Oh, no, I think this is our, what I agree. No, I definitely agree. That's a lot of money they're offering. The Amethyst Academy, I eventually want to hire them to do some of my work for me. Probably going to have to, work out a deal at some point, but that's actually a really good idea. I wonder if we could, kill two birds with one stone. You like helping people, right, Petro?
Oh, I love helping people. I mean, that's practically why I'm here.
Yeah. Well, there's someone who went over to an area, never came back. We could probably help them. And that's
we should go find them.
Yeah, that'll keep. We'll get to it.
The scepter?
Well, yeah, it's either help somebody or get the scepter. Those are the two. Seems like the two options.
Well, okay. Well, I do think that someone probably will find it pretty soon. So if we go help this person, we might not find the scepter, and that's okay. I just, want you to know that.
Oh no, I understand. They already said there's like strike teams out there, but
they also mentioned there is monsters kind of around that area as well. So I'm not too sure.
Oh, no, both of these places are in Drakkenhiem. There's gonna be monsters in this area.
I'll go tell the chapel that we're not going to have time to find the scepter.
Why don't we
just so they know?
Let them know to send the strike teams. Make sure they get the scepter before the other, dangerous elements.
I don't know if they were. I think we were the strike team. I don't know if they're sending others. I think that others are looking for it, not the church.
All right, because they were mentioning strike teams had run into thieves, so there's others out there.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah, we can go talk to them real quick.
Yeah.
So just to clarify a few points, the strike teams that were mentioned were indeed not necessarily the church's strike teams. The one that they mentioned were others. And in terms of location, it's you're still getting used to the map and whatnot. The chapel that they were talking about is from the position of Emerald Village, relatively close. The Rat's Nest Tavern would require you also to cross the Dran River.
Right.
That's another thing you have to consider. The Dran River crossing can be done through one of the 4 bridges, which are all in the inner city, which would require you to actually go into the inner city. Or you'd have to find a way to get across.
All right. I think, unfortunately, Brian, in this instance, I'm with the big guy. Let's go to the places a little closer, and on our way, let's see if we can do a little scouting and see if there's a way across the river, because that's something I haven't been able to. I haven't heard any kind of options in that regard. Hey, maybe the hooded. Oh wait, no, they're across the river. I was gonna ask them for help. Crap.
Oh, we could ask the Silver Order. Maybe they could help us somehow to get the scepter, and then maybe that'll just help us in general. Maybe they could send like a knight with us or something.
Hey, I like the. You know what? We could always use another bodyguard. I like it. Let's go. It just starts walking towards the chapel.
Just just know that it's a big ask. So I don't know if they'll say yes.
So as you might have remembered, Ophelia was getting ready to leave, and as you enter the chapel, the only one that is still here is the Flame Keeper, who is the resident keeper of the fire in this chapel. You can talk to her if you want to, but she's the only one that's still here.
Yeah, I'll talk to her.
Sure.
Flame Keeper, I know that the High Flame Keeper left, and I think there were some like knights with her, and they looked very formidable. But we're about to head into Drakkenheim. We're gonna try to retrieve that scepter, and we're just a little worried that we're maybe underprepared. Do you know if there's anything that you can do or the church can do to help us and maybe improve our odds?
I've never been to this chapel since the meteor fell, but one thing I can tell you from one follower of the faith to another, the chapels like that didn't really have any defensive positions or anything, but usually there was a system in place to make sure that no one could just like easily walk into the catacombs below. Sometimes they required a little effort to open up the doors to the locations below, but this did differ from chapel to chapel. I would consider just looking around the chapel very carefully and see if you can still find any of the descriptions. Maybe there's like a book or an instruction manual that will tell you what you need to do there. And obviously just watch out. You're still going to be within the general area of Drakkenheim, so it'll be dangerous, and well, that's something to consider, I think.
Okay. I meant more along the lines of like, a knight or something. But that's good information. Thank you.
I guess you can ask the people at Camp Dawn, but that's a little ways away from here. If you want to reach Camp Dawn, that is not too difficult. They're about 1 to 2 miles outside of Drakkenheim. All you have to do is to follow the Temple Road. And if you follow that road, then you'll run into the camp immediately. They're on the road. They just set up like a blockade almost.
Well, do you think we'll need that before we go to the chapel?
Gosh, I don't know.
I mean, at the very least, we could scout it out, right? Like,
it's a bit of a travel. If you go from here to Emberwood Village, that's about from here to Drakkenheim. That's about 2 miles. Then you'll have to get through the spokes. You have to go across the Dran River, and then you have to go follow Temple Road out of Drakkenheim towards the Silver Order. So it's a bit of a travel.
That's very far. Okay, I think that's maybe not a good plan then. But okay, I appreciate the thought. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
Please take care.
I think, unfortunately, Petro, I think given the other possibility, we may be on a bit of a time crunch. So let's go ahead and just scout it out, see what we can do. You think that'd be okay?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, I just need to drop off Roger first.
Okay. Drop.
And I quickly kind of hustle over to the bridge over here and
Yes.
and put Roger on the ground and take my canteen out and pour a little water on him. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be right back. Just take care of yourself. And you can just, when I get back, Drakkenheim's really dangerous. But so when I get back, you can just hop right back on my shoulder. It'll be a lot of fun.
Roger that.
Of course.
I've been waiting for that, man.
Perfect. That's perfect. Okay. All right, guys. I'm ready to go. Let's go.
Frogs. Frogs.
Says the one with
All right.
the frog.
So you move out of Drakkenheim, out of Emberwood Village and towards Drakkenheim, which means that we're going to pull up the city map.
Yes.
Woo.
And here we are. So where are you in relation to the city? Well, Emberwood Village itself is on this entire map located to the southwest, basically. I've told this before in the previous episode, but just to quickly reiterate, there are a couple of like major roads that are all leading into Drakkenheim. And the one that you're basically coming on is the Champion's Way, which if you would follow the main road would lead you directly towards the Champion's Gate. And from there you would be in the inner city and would be able to cross one of the bridges if you would want to do so. This, of course, leans heavily on the fact that you would follow this road and go through this gate. From your description, you should know that the spokes, which is the first area that you would run into, would be the area where this chapel should be. As the description was given to you, the chapel should be just off the main road. And following the logic of the way chapels looks, this should be like a domed round building. Not too high, but it should be distinguishable from all the other buildings. So it shouldn't be too hard to find if you know how to scout. Conversely, if you do want to go for the Rat's Nest Tavern, you were told this was in the Sprawl. And I think especially Corey and Briar, since you are from this area, you will know that the Sprawl is indeed the area across the Dran River. You don't even need to go into the city, the walled city itself. If you look across the river, you would see Temple Road, and a little ways away from that, you would see Shepherd's Way. In between Shepherd's Way and Temple Road is the Sprawl, which was the first area that started to be popularized by people who wanted to live close to Drakkenheim, but didn't have the financial means to live inside the city, the walled-in city. So this was a sprawl, quite literally, and that is why it's called that way. The Rat's Nest Tavern should be in between Shepherd's Way and Temple Road, so that area. It would mean, however, that you would need to cross the river through some means. Those are your choices. What are you going to do?
It sounded like we were going to go to the spokes, right?
Yep. As far as I don't have a reliable means to get across the river, unfortunately. So we're gonna have to figure that out at some point. But for now, I think we're off to a chapel.
Sounds good. So how are you going to try and find this chapel? You have a rough idea of where it should be. How are you going to actually pinpoint the location? What are you guys going to do to find it?
I'm going to smell for it.
As he's smelling, I was gonna climb every few blocks, climb up to the top of a building and look for a large dome structure.
Okay. As you're doing that, like, are you traveling down Champion's Way and then like grabbing every once in a while, grabbing a building to like have a look around? Is that what you're doing?
I imagine we're going up the main path. Is that correct, guys? Actually, Briar, does Briar have anything to weigh in on in terms of her travel?
Translation: does she know where she's going?
Or do you have do you have an alternate means of travel that you'd prefer to stick to the back roads, or are you okay with going out the main way?
I have no preference, because regardless, the roads are going to be dangerous some way or another. It's just a means of how recklessly we travel.
Yeah. I'd also be curious if Petro has at least, kind of maybe a faint memory of how the city's laid out and where this chapel could be, based on its experience there.
So you've lived in a commune, basically, because that's what it was, outside of Drakkenheim. You have been to Drakkenheim here and there, I imagine, but like it would have been probably... You've not been to any of the aristocratic, like, important points. So generally, I would say that your knowledge is limited to the outsides of the city, which is where you are right now.
Okay.
Would you know the area of I think the area of the spokes would be the area that you know the least, because it's the furthest away from your home. Which
that makes sense.
Eckerman Mill. The layout itself, however, like, while you probably haven't been here before, you understand the way that this is laid out. And I'll give you one check to see if I can weave something in. Give me a religion check.
Oh, religion. Okay.
Yeah. You are a paladin after all.
Oh, did it update?
I didn't see a dice flying by. Oh, there it is.
Oh,
a natural 20.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Natural 20.
So yes,
22.
This is so easy for you. Like nothing. No, I was hoping that you would roll high because this is something that I would say, like through your rigorous training, there would be something that would have popped up at this point. See, religious buildings always, like, symbolism is a big thing in religion. Because like things like represent things. Like churches usually have certain shapes, or they are at like landmark locations because they are very significant. The funny thing is that the sacred flame is quite the same. The sacred flame obviously is rotating around the whole, warmth of the flame, strength of the flame, visibility of the flame. Those are all things that, anything that you could attribute to a flame would be also symbolism for the faith. As such, logically, chapels and churches are in locations where you could relatively easily see the flames, because that would attract people and know that they are safe. I think you would know this, and you would probably relay to your team with your natural 20 that if you're looking for a chapel, you're looking for a domed building that should be in an area where there's not a lot of buildings around it that would be higher than it. So in a wider area, people would be able to see the chapel, even during daylight, just by looking for a place where they would see a light flickering. So you would look for a place where there's a lot of low-rise building. Now, luckily in the spokes, almost everything is low-rise, but there is a bit of discrepancy of like 2-story buildings and 1-story buildings. You would probably look for an area where there's mostly low, like 1-story buildings, which would be the southwestern part of the spokes, because most buildings over there are 1-story.
All right. I would more or less relay this to the group, and I would be like, so the Sacred Flame, they have these buildings that kind of stand out in the city. And the thing with the cities is that people tend to build up. So they look for areas where they haven't really done that yet, just so that they can kind of stand out and be easy to find. So I really just think it's going to be this way. Also, it kind of smells nice over there. I've been kind of sniffing, and it's almost just like a little bit of a cinnamony flame smell coming from that direction. So let's go over there.
We'll go with cinnamon. I love that.
How's the weather as we move forward? Oh, sorry.
So the weather around Drakkenheim is rather perpetual, if you will. There is, of course, this thick fog that sort of like surrounds the city, the haze that we've talked about. It is thicker in some locations and thinner in others, but it is there. So there is this sort of like mist that permeates the city and its immediate surroundings, which I would attribute as one of the weather effects that the city has. Beyond that, it's always cloudy in Drakkenheim. Like, it hasn't seen a sunny day in years. There is a subtle drizzle that if you would stand in it for too long, you'd get wet, but it isn't like too terrible. It is just, if anything, it's dreary. That's really what we're looking at here. So there's like, what it looks like on screen is exactly what it is. Slightly dreary, a bit misty.
Interesting. All right. Yeah.
With your
Petro.
combined efforts, I think with your combined effort, Petro basically pointing out like where you should probably look. I would imagine, Corey, you have a climbing speed as your tabaxi. You would be the one to quickly climb up on a building and have a quick scout around.
Sure thing. And my faithful friend Norbert will fly a little bit above me and see if he can get any height.
All right.
What do your homunculus eyes see?
All right.
It's really hazy up here. It's hard to see anything.
I don't think and it's gone. I think on the main, we're factoring in the fact that you guys are traveling on the main road. Corey, since you're doing the scouting, give me a perception check with advantage, please.
Woo. All right, let's go ahead and roll that with advantage. Is it going to go? Yes. That is a 19.
Nice.
Well done.
Thank you for the help.
All right. So I think combining that with the natural 20 that you got through Petro, as you climb up on a couple of chimneys, because that's really all you have. Like, the buildings over here are borderline just destroyed, most of them. I think at some point you climb up on a chimney that is still standing, and you very easily spot the chapel that is in the middle of a neighborhood. Indeed, in between buildings that are slightly lower, there's this domed building that stands out. At the very least, this is a chapel, and based on its description and location, you are pretty sure this is the one that you are looking for. Do you wish to go there?
Found it. It's definitely over here. This is the chapel we've been looking for. Let's go.
How far away is it?
So I would imagine that by at this point you have traveled into Drakkenheim from the outskirts of Drakkenheim, so just hitting the haze towards the Chapel of St. Brenna. That is, once you spotted it, it's like a 10-minute walk. It's not too far.
Oh, okay, great.
But you have
are there any...
from Emberwood Village to Drakkenheim, like let's factor that in. That is about a 2-hour walk. So it is, I think, like slapdash in the middle of the afternoon.
Ori, do you see any scary monsters? Or is it, can we just walk there?
I saw the building, but I didn't. Did I see any movement or anything?
Good question. You do. You'll notice, though not much, you'll notice a couple of people walking around there. They look like they move around with more purpose than the undead that you've seen before.
We may have some company. It looks like there was one of them strike teams that they were talking about up there.
Oh, well, as long as they're not scary monsters, maybe we can just make friends with them.
Sure. You go ahead, pal, and I'll take a look see from the roofs. And he's gonna sort of travel, if he can, travel along the roofs, trying to be out of sight a little bit.
Sure.
Oh, well, I'll try.
As you get closer to the chapel, you will, from the rooftops, be able to notice that there is indeed a group of people that is currently standing off to the side of the chapel in some sort of like a small courtyard that is next to it. They look from a distance like adventurers / travelers, mostly clad in leather.
Do they bear a resemblance to the purple star that we met before?
No. Okay. No, there's a lot more of them as well. It's like there's, I can give you an exact number if you give me a second. There's 9 of them.
All right. It looks like there's some people up there. There's about there's more than what I've seen here before. They're all wearing pretty. They're wearing light leathers, basically what I'm wearing. So, I don't know if they're they don't look like the Knights of the Silver Order. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we have an advantage because what they said at the chapel was to look for the instruction manual. So we need to look around the chapel because maybe there's a book that tells us how to get into the crypts. And if they don't have that, maybe they can't get in.
Hey, before we look through, I'm gonna look through the book and hold it next to Briar, the spell book that we've got. Say, yeah, I think we might be able to use any of these. And he points at the mage armor. Mage armor.
Another rundown of the magic.
Yes, please.
Sure. So you'll have the following spells at your disposal. You have the spells Message, Mage Armor, Hold Person, Speak with Dead, Ice Storm, Teleport, Wish, Fireball, and Magic Missile at your disposal, one of which you can use per day.
Oh, maybe we can just teleport into the crypts.
I honestly don't know how this spell works. Do you think it can get all of us?
No, I don't know.
Do you want to have a look at that? Because as you flip to that page, it literally it's like an IKEA manual. It literally tells you okay, so listen up. You do this, you do that, you wave your hand. It's like it even has pictures.
Sure, love to hear that. Oh my god, don't tell me we actually have a visual representation for this. Oh my god.
No, unfortunately, I don't.
Okay, I
Gosh,
was gonna say
damn.
that would be uncanny.
I was about to
Oh,
be like,
That little guy with a screwdriver looks so happy.
No, I mean for visual representation, if I can quickly pull it out of roleplay, you know the For Dummies book series,
Yes.
right? Like there's like a book like For
Yes.
Dummies on everything.
Teleport for
It's
Dummies.
It's literally that. It's the black and
Perfect.
white guy with a little finger up, like learning how to use magic for dummies. That's what you're like doing.
yes.
Love it, love it.
Ed. All right. I mean, it might be that these guys are friendly, but we should be on our guard. He's gonna hold it to the page where Fireball is, and just be like, just in case.
So you're not going to use the teleport?
You guys want to teleport, or do you want to talk?
Hmm. Now that
Let's
we're closer,
see.
do they look mean?
That's a very subjective question.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. Fair.
All right. Yeah. Let's go ahead and maybe we can teleport in there and sneak out.
Briar, what do you think?
Honestly, I feel like I'm I'm outvoted for this one. May have been able to see if they were hostile or not, but honestly, I'd rather avoid finding
Confrontation.
out. So
I want to see how this works too. Let's go ahead and all right. So it looks like I gotta do this. I gotta hold this up like this, and all right. How do you make this kind of motion? It looks like you need a third arm to be able to even do this damn thing.
So
Oh, I thought you have a little guy with extra arms, don't you?
Papa, what do you want to say? Or Barry, what do you want to say?
So which spell are you trying to cast?
Teleport
Teleport. Great. Where do you guys want to teleport to?
into the. Oh God, is that a basement?
It's a place that you can see within range.
Correct.
Oh,
So-
okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's a little trickier.
Yeah, we can't see the basement or the catacombs, so
So the one thing you can see from where you are right now is these domed buildings of the
Chimney?
chapel. They do have, and they have like an open chimney, so you can see, like if you were on a chimney looking down into the area, which you were doing, you can see the inside of the dome. So you would be able to teleport directly inside of the chapel. That would be technically possible.
Is there a floor in the ceiling, or is it just open, Petro?
It's an open ceiling, but I would allow that as teleporting inside the chapel, technically.
do we want to do it?
Let's do it. I can't see a downside to this.
How
Let's
far
do
would
it.
drop us
Last
that?
words.
What? Well, 'cause we're gonna drop down once we teleport, right?
I mean, from technicalities, but I'll allow that as being on the
Okay.
ground from a teleport.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
I just want to see what this does, because this is a powerful object.
Oh. I'm a little scared, but we could try it.
Hold my hand, Petro. We can do this.
Oh. Okay.
Hey, just a moment ago, you said you need another hand.
All right, let's do this.
All right.
And yeah.
So you cast teleport.
Yep.
On the three of you, and into the chapel.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Roll me a flat d20, please, my friend Corey.
Okay.
Oh, just him. Okay.
No.
Roll. 8.
This was a bad idea.
That is an 8. All
Yeah,
right.
that's an 8.
So this is worded in common, so you should be able to do this rather well. You have never really used magic of this type before. So you do this sort of like wavy thing, and it says, okay, use a thumb, and you look at your paw like, fuck, I don't have a thumb. But you you do your best. And above expectations, you manage to complete the spell and bring it full circle. And you cast what you believe would be teleport, and you indicate that it would be for the three of you towards the chapel. And as you move your paw for a final move around the three of you and point towards the chapel, you suddenly notice that you hear a sound that permeates the three of you. You hear a loud fart as you cast telepoot instead of teleport.
So very seriously, he completes this like ritual. He points dramatically, and then
Oh, what was that me? I'm sorry, guys.
Whether or not this sound has also been projected towards the chapel, you have no idea of since you rolled an 8.
the heck was that? He shakes the book a little bit and rereads the instructions. I did everything right.
You followed them correctly.
I followed the. I did the. I guess it's the old-fashioned way. This book was a. What kind of prank is this?
Well, I wanted the book.
I don't. Yeah, you can have it. I still want to investigate this damn thing. Telepoop. Stupid. And they start trudging towards the chapel.
Awesome. Also, like, did you hand it to Briar?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Briar, do you want to add this to your inventory? Because you can. I actually made a special item for this. Because for those of you that don't know, this is a personally made homebrew item.
Yes, I want to add it to my inventory.
All right. On D&D Beyond, if you look for the Book of Spells, if you just type in Book of, it should show up.
Okay.
Spells with a Z.
Stupid.
In D&D Beyond, it's actually written slightly different. It's called the Book of Misspells, but.
And I, as Daniel, am aware of this item, and Corey was not, and he's frustrated right now.
So as you decide to, in the meantime, also move towards the chapel, I will play a short transition for you. I hope it works because it should, but let's have a look if it does.
Ooh.
Chapels like the one devoted to Saint Brenna form the heart of many neighborhoods in Drakkenheim. These were the places of religious worship, weddings, community gatherings, and funerals, as each stands over a small crypt where common folk interret the cremated remains of the dead. However, many are also the resting place for the mummified bodies of clerics and paladins of the sacred flame, and some even contain reliquaries for holy artifacts.
That was cool.
I like that. I'm glad it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
You approach the doorstep of the chapel, and you're noticing that in your immediate surrounding, there is a small open courtyard to the right, which is where you saw a couple of people shuffling about. The chapel itself seems to be relatively intact. It did sustain some damage from the meteor's impact, but it's still standing. The dome is still upright, and you're noticing that there is a glow coming from inside. The door in front of you is still locked, or at least closed. The choice is yours whether you're going to go inside the chapel or if you're going to have a look at the courtyard. Unfortunately, that choice will have to wait until next week.
There's so much to talk. I want to explore the city, but there's so many people to talk to.
I want to do more.
This is such a cool campaign.
It is a very cool campaign. The setting's awesome.
You guys are surpassing my expectations as DM already. Like, you know, because this is the thing, right? As a DM, you prep your episodes, and you're like, oh, they're probably going to do this. They're probably going to do that. And I was fully focused on, like, you're either gonna go here or there's 2 other locations. I was like, one of those 3, it's gonna happen. And we just spent 4 hours just having fun and role playing. And I love that, because that is D&D to me. D&D is just like going with whatever happens. And you guys prove that's, you know, you can do it, and I love that. So
we have not 1 but 2 more frogs in the party now. So
that too.
Where's Roger? I haven't seen him in a little while.
Oh, he went back and he's living under the bridge now. We'll go see him later though.
Is he a troll?
I mean,
Troll
he
frog.
likes to cosplay as one. Yeah.
He's a troll frog.
That was good. That was fun.
That was a lot of fun. So, yeah, I think next week, now that you're here, I think next week we're going to dive into the Chapel of Saint Brenna, which, oh my God, is such a cool location. So I'm really hyped and looking forward to that one. But that will indeed be next episode next week. So for all of you, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, if you did. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of our awesome community. We are very happy to have you, and we're very happy that you enjoy the content that we put out there. Thank you so much for being here. And we will see and or hear all of you in the next episode next week. If you haven't done so already, please follow us on our socials. All of them can be found on thegildedflask.com and or in our panels on Twitch and our description below on YouTube. Also, feel free to join our Discord. We're very active in there. We love sharing D&D memes and talking D&D and talking just like stuff. So feel free to join us there and like have a laugh with us. Like, we're very approachable. We don't bite, I promise.
And
We're not
you can
mimics.
share pictures of your familiars if you have any. We'd love to see all the pet pics that you've got.
That too, absolutely. So with that, we'll see you next week. Thank you so much for being here, and 7 more days, and we'll see you. Bye bye, everybody.